An extremely difficult problem. A max-level master has turned into a sacrificial supporting female character. What should be done? ZZ said excitedly. Host, this is the nth time you become a sacrificial supporting female character. Your mission in this world is... Tan Huyen laughed. Sacrificial? Those two words don't exist in my dictionary. Telling me to be timid? In your dreams. In this life, no one should even think about tormenting me. Her beautiful pink eyes narrowed domineeringly. Her hands tore off the masks of a million pretentious girls. She slapped their faces crooked. A girl who plays innocent is no good. Most of it is just an act. One beating is all it takes. Her feet trampled on 10,000 scumbags. They said resentfully, you just wait. Tan Huyen uttered her golden words. May you be infertile, yet have flocks of children and grandchildren. She knew she was beautiful, and at the same time, incredibly strong. Tan Huyen advised, remember, only a bull can be worked to death. There's no field that can't be plowed. Then she suddenly captured his lips. None of them were a match for Tan Huyen. Today, I will show you what a max-level slaughter is. In my world, what needs to be done is to beat up monsters and punish those pretentious bitches. ZZ reported, Host, a reader has accused you of hacking. She said confidently, I don't use hacks because I'm a #1 queen. Tan Huyen raised her eyebrows smugly. I myself am the hack. Curses echoed throughout the small house. Try and run now. The man endured enough lashes, but he didn't stop. Try and run now, you little brat. The whip struck down repeatedly. You were only sold to the brothel for a few days, and you already ran back. They haven't even paid me in full yet. The cruel adoptive father aimed for the uninjured spots. Damn it, you're just a useless, thick-skinned freeloader, just like your mother. Such a useless thing, and it's only been a few years. The words grew more and more terrible. Damn it, if I raised a dog, it would at least know how to bring me back a bun. What about you? You eat and drink my food for free, but can't even earn a single coin. What's the use of letting you live? He struggled to get up, glaring in defiance. The man was furious. You bastard, what kind of look is that? The adoptive mother stepped in to stop him. Why are you being so heavy-handed? If you accidentally beat him to death, how will we continue to sell him for money? Stop hitting him. She slowly approached. If you want to hit him, don't hit his face. The adoptive mother was even more cruel. Just stick needles in places that can't be seen, and that'll be enough. Her face twisted with madness, sticking sewing needles under each fingernail, then pouring chilly water over them, then stabbing them in and pulling them out again. This way, he can feel the bone-deep pain without dying, to make this little brat remember the consequences of running away. He resisted fiercely, biting the adoptive mother's hand. Her face turned pale. You animal, you dare to bite me? Let go. The adoptive father came forward and kicked Fong Jiak straight in the face. You bastard rebelling, are you? I should have found a matchmaker and sold you off to a brothel to be the lowest of slaves. The adoptive mother yelled, no need to sell him to a brothel. Just sell him to the deep mountains to be a shared wife for some thugs, or a male pet for some rich young masters. She took out a small knife. I heard that in the North City, an official is looking to buy you for 3 taels of silver, but he has a fiery temper and has always hated disobedient servants the most. The adoptive mother prepared to act. You can't keep running away like this. It seems I'll have to shave off one of your kneecaps. Fong Jiak's eyes widened helplessly. Only then can this sale be successful. Suddenly, she was stopped. The adoptive mother shouted angrily, Who is it? Tan Huyen directly pushed the hypocritical couple, making them stumble and fall. They immediately fainted. She asked arrogantly, Is he the villain this time? He stared blankly, stunned at Tan Huyen. She reached her hand out towards Fong Jiak. Tan Huyen lifted his face and commented, Too weak. ZZ reminded, Host, you are now a female elder with profound power, second to one, and above 10,000 in the Qianquan Gate. It sneered, How can this weak little chick compare to you? She was confused. How can this weak chick become the villain? ZZ tapped the screen. Host, look at this. The plot appeared. He is Fong Jiak, the villain of this world. From a poor family since childhood, he was sold multiple times by his adoptive parents. But by a twist of fate, he entered the Qianquan Gate. Later, due to a plague, he was invaded by demonic energy, and because of his wavering mind, he fell into the demonic path. The female lead of this world is Qi Yuan, the niece of the sect master and also the current princess, receiving endless favor. She is determined to become the master of the Qianquan Gate, and Fong Jiak is one of her many admirers. And you, host, are a sect elder, Taoist master Xianqing, a stubborn and inflexible person who often makes things difficult for the female lead, an obstacle on her path to becoming the sect master. So she collaborated with Fong Jiak, who had already followed the demonic path, to drain all your spiritual power. After cutting all the tendons in your hands and feet, they push you off a deep cliff. The host's mission now is to successfully ascend as Elder Ling, while also exposing Qi Yuan's hypocritical face and preventing the villain from stepping onto the evil path. If the host refuses the mission, your soul will be forever trapped in this world. World Mission Summary. 1. Prevent the villain from entering the demonic path. 2. The host must successfully ascend and reach the realm of a great power. Tan Huyen carefully examined Fong Jiak. This kid, she muttered incessantly. His aptitude is too poor. His fate lacks a noble benefactor. He is destined to suffer many disasters and hardships. He whimpered, looking at Tan Huyen with a wronged expression. Zizi suddenly became interested. Host, you just triggered this hidden mission. You've received affection points from the villain Fong Jiak. She was surprised. What hidden mission? It explained the villain's affection level for you. If it reaches 100 points, the hidden mission will be considered complete and you will receive an additional reward. Currently, Fong Jiak's affection level for you is 10. Tan Huyen frowned. Didn't you just say he's one of the people who will eventually kill me? Zizi confirmed, correct. So she drew the sword at her side, pointed it straight at him. Then it's better to just kill him decisively. It panicked. Calm down, host. If you kill him, we won't have to do the mission anymore. Zizi hurriedly stopped her. Don't forget, you are no longer the master god of 3,000 worlds. You must complete the mission to receive rewards, restore your physical body and spiritual consciousness. If you don't think of a way to increase the villain's affection level now, in a few days he will be saved by Qi Yuan and fall for her. Tan Huyen raised an eyebrow. Just because he likes the female lead, he helps her do whatever she wants? This kid is truly blind. She became even more determined. If he's that stupid, then just getting rid of him will solve it. As for the pretentious female, lead Qi Yuan, I'll deal with her later. It panicked. No, host. According to the plan, you have to save him first. Otherwise, our story will end right at chapter 1. Finally, Tan Huyen gave in. I know. Zizi breathed a sigh of relief. Fong Jiak instinctively hugged her leg tightly. Tan Huyen became more certain. Isn't he supposed to be very weak? He pleaded weakly, save me. It said pitifully, host, he's about to starve to death, and his body is covered in wounds. She gently twisted her bracelet, and she took out a few strange items and demanded choose. Fong Jiak was confused. Zizi was speechless. Host, he's about to faint. What is there to choose? Just give him the medicine. Instantly, Tan Huyen took out a pill as big as a human head, shook Fong Jiak's neck. Open your mouth. It thought to itself. The master Ling Qingxian of the immortal realm, who managed 3,000 worlds for tens of thousands of years. This must be the first time she's giving medicine to someone else. I don't know if this is saving a person or killing them. She frowned and sighed. So troublesome. So Tan Huyen picked up the medicine bottle. She poured it straight in her mouth, then reached out for Fong Jiak. Tan Huyen used the mouth-to-mouth method to feed him medicine. Fong Jiak regained some consciousness, his eyes fluttering open. He quickly became aware of the situation. Startled and blushing, Fong Jiak pushed Tan Huyen away in alarm. She grew more suspicious. TSK, so weak. Is he really the villain? He obediently sat up straight. Thank you for saving me, miss. Fong Jiak inquired. I am Fong Jiak. May I know the young lady's name? Zizi was excited to see the affection level increase by 5. The affection level has increased. Well done, host. Tan Huyen gave a faint smile. I didn't expect there was someone in the cultivation world who doesn't know my name. She sat in a domineering posture. I am Ling Qingxian. He immediately recognized her. Ling Qingxian, you are Taoist Master Xianqing of the Qiankuan Gate, the great cultivation sect? She thought to herself, it seems the reputation of this body's original owner isn't too bad. Then she asked, what, do you also want to join our Qiankuan Gate? Fong Jiak knew his own situation. My aptitude is not good, he said with low self-esteem. A fortune teller told me my aptitude is ordinary. My spiritual acupoints are blocked, and I have no fate with cultivation. Tan Huyen just smiled faintly. Then she decisively pulled him. Follow me. Fong Jiak's eyes widened in surprise. Miss you. Tan Huyen held his hand tightly. Then she pushed Fong Jiak onto the bed. Tan Huyen lowered her voice suggestively. Lie still. Wait here obediently. Her gentle gaze fell upon his body. Fong Jiak followed her words powerlessly. Mississippi. She pressed down on him, ordering, take it off. Then without waiting for a response, Tan Huyen removed his clothes herself. Fong Jiak sweated from fear. Miss, wait. What are you going to do? Zizi even cheered from the side. Go for it, host. He's still just a child. Absolutely don't let him go. She glanced over his thin body. How does it feel? His handsome face was slightly flushed, letting out a soft moan. Tan Huyen suddenly channeled her power, concentrating her spirit. He was shocked. Is she clearing my meridians for me? Fong Jiak was stunned, not understanding why. She added, it will hurt. I'll try to be gentle later, Zizi said with a dark mind. Host, saying that in this situation is a bit strange. You'll probably corrupt the young children. A faint green light appeared on his forehead. She caressed his handsome face. In the entire world, there is no spiritual route that Ling Qingxian cannot open. Suddenly, Fong Jiak's body had an unusual reaction. Tan Huyen was unaware and continued to instruct. The spiritual route is open. If you practice diligently, you can deal with ordinary people and protect yourself. Suddenly, he grabbed her hand. Tan Huyen was startled by this move. You. He pushed her down onto the bed. Tan Huyen frowned. What's going on? Why is his spiritual power suddenly so strong? Fong Jiak seemed to have lost his reason, calling out darkly, Tan Huyen. She warned, I'll give you 3 seconds to get off me. Tan Huyen was completely serious. Otherwise, you will immediately turn into a pile of minced meat. She was confused. What's wrong with this guy? Just a moment ago, he was like a sick puppy. Tan Huyen examined him carefully. In the blink of an eye, he has the look of a man-eating wolf. Fong Jiak even said, to die on your body, I am willing. Fong Jiak was mesmerized. The scent on her body is so fragrant. He stuck out his tongue, wanted to get closer. Tan Huyen angrily prepared to strike. You dare to take liberties with me? You audacious brat. It seems you need to be taught a lesson. Suddenly, Fong Jiak cried out, his whole body as if electrocuted. Then he collapsed on top of her. Tan Huyen was dumbfounded. What happened? I haven't even made a move, and he's already collapsed. She had to help Fong Jiak sit up again. Zizi wondered, host, what happened to the villain just now? Tan Huyen guessed. It was probably just the stimulation from having his spiritual acupoints opened. Zizi puffed its cheeks. That can happen. She was suspicious. But what is this guy's background? The powerful spiritual energy and aura from before were like the reappearance of a demon lord. It's been a long time since I've been suppressed by someone like this. Could he be a seed of extraordinary strength? Tan Huyen became interested. Interesting. You have successfully attracted my attention. It reported again, host, receiving a signal. The system reports that several Qian Kuan Gate disciples are being attacked by spirit beasts in a secret realm. Their lives are in danger. The female lead of this world, Qi Yuan, is also there. Stop showing off your charm. Our mission is more urgent. Tan Huyen lowered her voice. Do I look that free? She said excitedly. Then let's do as you say. Let's go find the pretentious female lead of this world. A vicious glint flashed in her eyes. Let's torture some scum. In the heavenly land of 9 heavens, the strong are the rulers, sorcery is prevalent, and the big fish eats the small fish. The cultivation Tao of the Qian Kuan Gate is the most profound, with techniques, martial arts, talismans, treasures, pills, and spirit beasts. It has resources that top all other sections. Demonic beasts were attacking frantically. Everyone retreated according to their abilities. Luo'er was scared. Senior sister, what do we do now? There are more and more spirit beasts. At this rate, we'll die in this secret realm. Qi Yuan sneered. Just listen to me and you won't go wrong. If we can subdue this spirit beast, we will surely obtain a secret treasure, and Master will also see us in a different light. She schemed cunningly. The premise is, Qi Yuan pushed her out without hesitation. Use your blood as bait. She thought arrogantly, this princess has a noble body. I absolutely cannot die here. I cannot die. Luo'er screamed tragically, begging, save me. Suddenly, a sword slash cut through the spirit beast. Tan Huyen had arrived just in time. Everyone was overjoyed. Look, Elderling, we're saved. She charged forward without any hesitation. Tan Huyen fought left and right, easily finishing them off. Why are they all so full of weaknesses? Playing Fruit Ninja is more fun than this. The disciples sighed in relief. Elder Ling is so powerful. She's worthy of being the strongest elder of the Qian Gate. They gratefully surrounded her. Disciple thanks Elder Ling for saving our lives. Except for Qi Yuan, who gritted her teeth. That old woman, Ling Qingxian, dares to ruin my plans. I can't let her steal the spotlight. Later, in the inner hall of the Qian Gate, she put on a weak appearance. Elder Ling, it is this disciple's fault for not knowing how to lead the team, causing everyone to be injured. This disciple is willing to accept punishment. But in her heart, she thought, I am the princess most beloved by His Majesty. My uncle is the master of the Qian Gate. You wouldn't dare to punish me. Let's see what excuse you'll come up with. Unexpectedly, Tan Huin demanded, you led the team yourself, but didn't know how to choose the path, putting your teammates in danger out of your own stupidity. So, slap yourself 20 times. Qi Yuan's face immediately darkened. She mocked, you should be rewarded with 100 slaps, but considering this is your first time, I'll only punish you with 20. The surrounding disciples sneered. Elder Ling is the first person in the Qian Gate to dare to humiliate Princess Qi Yuan. So pitiful, sirs are right. Who told her to rush in head first earlier? Shu, speak softer. Let's watch the good show. She endured it. Disciple obeys. Qi Yuan began to slap herself. On the third slap, Tan Huin grabbed her hand to stop her. Wait, she slapped Qi Yuan straight across the face. Are you trying to scratch an itch? Tan Huin instructed, this is what you call a slap. She really did use a trick. I used spiritual power to reduce the damage just now. I didn't expect her to find out. That damn old woman. Painful slaps echoed continuously. Qi Yuan's eyes widened in anger, her face swollen. I can't believe I was played by that old woman Ling Qingxian. That bitch. She was even ridiculed. This is killing me. It's true that you only know how long the night is when you stay up late. She had it coming. Qi Yuan thought hatefully, I will definitely chop you into pieces in the future, making it so you can never be reincarnated. Just you wait. The disciple selection ceremony was taking place. Tan Huin clearly didn't care. Zizi was speechless. Host, you should at least draw on your double eyelids. It tapped its cane. 3 days have passed since you slapped Qi Yuan's face. It's time to rearrange the progress of this world. According to the original setting, the son of the former martial arts alliance leader, Mu Lin, was being hunted by his enemies. Fong Jiak was originally bought to be his substitute to die, but was saved by Qi Yuan and brought to the Qian Gate. But because his aptitude was too poor, he was thrown away. From then on, he harbored a grudge against the righteous cultivation sects and entered the demonic path. But because you host, save Fong Jiak instead of Qi Yuan, the two of them will not be able to meet, cutting off the development line from the very beginning. The current mission is to expose Qi Yuan's hypocritical face and make this body successfully ascend, and that's it. It sneered, besides, these past few days, the host has been torturing the scum with outstanding results. It seems we will soon finish the mission in this world. Qi Yuan continuously spread rumors. Back then, Ling Qingxian got this position thanks to Elder Huang. Elder Huang is her godfather. The two of them were like this and that. Ling Qingxian is jealous of my beauty, so she deliberately makes things difficult for me. Ling Qingxian is the third party in Elder D's marriage. She was locked in a dark room. Ling Qingxian, if you have the guts, let me out. Tan Huin lowered her eyes to look at the people waiting for selection. Zizi said excitedly, Host, you're awake? Next, shall we continue to torture the scummy villains? She glanced and saw someone mixed in the crowd. Tan Huin was surprised. Why is he here? Fong Jiak's appearance made it excited. Whoa, why did Fong Jiak come to the Qian Gate? A loud bell rang. Someone announced, the 1551st Qian Gate Disciple Selection Conference begins. To join the Qian Gate, one must test the strength of their spiritual power through the spiritual power testing stone. Those who successfully advance can choose which master to study under at the master-disciple ceremony, becoming a direct disciple and receiving knowledge. The spiritual power testing stone came on stage. I am the secret treasure of the Qian Gate. He finally came on stage. Next, Mu Lin, its tail perked up, inviting with a smile. He grabbed the testing stone's tail. A dense stream of spiritual power appeared. The basic information appeared, all indicating that he had received the unparalleled favor of heaven and earth. Zizi introduced host, that is the male lead Mu Lin, son of the martial arts alliance leader. Initially, the Mu family bought Fong Jiak as a substitute to Dai to protect him. After the Mu residence was annihilated, he came to the Qian Kuan Gate to cultivate for revenge. It was nonchalant because it was a pig that ordinary people couldn't see. Everyone scrambled to greet him. I didn't expect a heavenly spiritual root favored by the heavens. His aptitude is excellent. If he is taught well, he will surely achieve great things in the future. It's been years since the Qian Kuan Gate has had such a good seed. Mu Lin, your mother is the grandniece of my 7th uncle's distant aunt's family. We are relatives. Mu Lin, take Elder Tian as your master. My place has good benefits, including insurance. Mu Lin, come to our Xian Gate. The Xian Gate has many girls. You'll surely get over your single phase. Tan Huin's face turned pale. I feel like I'm watching a supermarket promotion, with aunts and grandmas fighting and pulling hair over a roll of toilet paper. The supervisor ZZ called the name. Next, Fong. How do you read this character? Let me check the dictionary. Ah, Fong Jiak. He grabbed the testing stone's tail. The spiritual power was indeed extremely weak. The information was unremarkable. Only his looks were outstanding. She thought to herself, this is difficult. One person after another started to criticize. So weak. How can someone with this kind of aptitude get into the Qian Kuan Gate? Since the founding of the Qian Kuan Gate, this is the first time we've seen such a weak chick. Oh, I feel embarrassed for him. He's really shameless. His face looks decent. If he went to a brothel, he'd surely be the top male courtesan. Fong Jiak thought with low self-esteem. As expected, even though Miss Ling helped me open my wisdom root, I still can't enter the immortal gate. The bald man pointed. What kind of ant is this? How dare he participate in the selection with such poor aptitude? A bun was immediately thrown at his face. You'd better hurry down the mountain. Tan Huin stepped forward. It's not your turn to point fingers at my person. He was surprised. Miss Ling, Mu Lin was determined. That is the strongest elderling of the Qian Kuan Gate. I am carrying the blood feud of my clan's extermination. If she accepts to teach me, I will surely be able to take revenge and rule the martial world. He immediately knelt before her. Mu Lin kowtowed. I, Mu Lin, wish to take Elder Ling as my master. I wonder if the elder will accept me as a disciple. Tan Huin shook her head slightly. Didn't you hear, just now? The disciple this master has chosen is not you. He was full of jealousy, gritting his teeth. Who is it? She pointed directly. Fong Jiak. The disciples exploded. I can't believe Elder Ling didn't choose the genius Mu Lin. Has Taoist Master Xin Qing been in seclusion for too long and lost her mind? His heart pounded, the affection level continuously increasing. ZZ was excited. Villain Fong Jiak's affection plus 10. Current total is 50, halfway through the progress. Congratulations, host. Tan Huin was not satisfied. Ungrateful thing. Only 10 more points? I sacrificed a slot for this guy. Mu Lin tried to persuade her. Can't Taoist master take one more disciple? Mu Lin is willing to be a martial brother with Fong Jiak. She gently took his hand. In this life, it's just the two of us. Tan Huin said decisively, this master will only take one disciple. Zizi reminded, host, that phrase isn't used like that. She waved the red string in her hand, instantly creating a bond between the two. The apprenticeship is complete. Fong Jiak dazedly followed Tan Huin's instructions. She reminded him, aren't you going to greet your master? They looked as happy as a pair of lovers. Fong Jiak followed Tan Huin, climbing the stairs one by one. She glanced at him and thought to herself, I originally intended to cut off the relationship between Fong Jiak, Qi Yuan, and the Qian Kuan Gate, but I didn't expect him to deliver himself to my door. Tan Huin thought of a wicked scenario and told herself, but accepting him as a disciple is better. If he interacts with Qi Yuan in the future, what if he gets corrupted by that vicious woman? She imagined herself strictly instructing Fong Jiak. Disciple, your master has prepared a perfect study plan for you. He would then plead helplessly, Master, please spare me. Tan Huin calculated. Besides, if he is my disciple, he probably won't have time to enter the demonic path. Hearing her words, ZZ spoke in a frightened voice. Sometimes I don't know who the real villain is. ZZ anxiously reminded, host, do you have any time to pity the villain? His legs are shaking. There are still 2,333 steps and a dozen more threes after that to reach Xianqing Hall. Only then did Tan Huin remember. I almost forgot about him. Fong Jiak was now breathing heavily with exhaustion. Suddenly, he missed a step and stumbled. Fong Jiak lost his balance and fell forward. Tan Huyen quickly caught him by the waist. She chided in a low voice, "You really make people worry." Witnessing this scene, a series of scripts flashed through ZZ's mind. Female dominant cultivation and the husband raised from childhood. The domineering CEO and the disciple who delivered himself to the door. The growth diary of a puppy. The super guide to raising a wolf cub. ZZ spoke excitedly, as expected of the host. Next is the Princess Carrie, right? Wonderful. Tan Huyen casually lifted Fong Jiak upside down and replied calmly, "This way saves time." Seeing this, ZZ helplessly wondered, why on earth did I place my hopes on a straight girl like the host? That evening at the small courtyard, a fragrant aroma wafted from a kitchen. On the table, sumptuous dishes were now displayed, decorated beautifully. Feng Zhu spoke gently, "Master, these are the dishes your disciple made for you. Please try them." Qingxian looked on, drooling, and praised excitedly, as expected of the man I chose. ZZ, standing nearby, immediately exposed her. "Host, are you happy because you found a free helper? Besides, what you said seems to have another meaning." The housewife attribute awakened within Feng Zhu. He replied shyly, Thank you, master. This is the 10 tonics, nourishing soup to regulate the 6 meridians." In his hand was a bowl of fragrant soup with an alluring aroma spreading in all directions. Feng Zhu asked cautiously, "I wonder if you like it or not." Without another word, Qingxian took it and drank it down to the last drop. Suddenly, the bowl fell to the ground, and she collapsed onto the floor with a nosebleed. Ling Qingxian passed out very peacefully. Seeing this, he was startled and shouted, "Master, what's wrong with you?" ZZ broke out in a cold sweat. "Oh no, it seems the host is allergic to seafood." That night, the moon was bright and the breeze was cool. Qingxian was now breathing heavily. Her face turned red. Qingxian struggled to answer, "It's nothing. I'll be fine after a nap. My self-healing ability is extremely strong. It's so hot." Feng Zhu silently blamed himself. "It's all my fault for not asking beforehand if Master had any dietary restrictions, causing Master to be in such pain." He reached out and gently wiped the beads of sweat from Qingshuan's face. Feng Zhu suddenly remembered the scene of their lips touching yesterday, and his face flushed red. His heart pounded violently. He looked at Qingshuan's plump red lips and thought to himself, "Lips, Master's lips." Feng Zhu's gaze shifted downwards as he muttered to himself, "Chest." He gently touched her face and called out affectionately, "Master." Suddenly, Feng Zhu felt a sharp pain. He clutched his head in shock and wondered, what is happening? An image of a woman appeared in his mind, speaking gently, rebellious to the bone. "You are truly meant to be the villain. From now on, your name is Zhu." The people around him continuously criticized him. "Shameless, just how long are you going to cling to the Lord God?" The scene of him trying to grasp the Lord God's hand appeared. "A bug deserves to be exterminated." Feng Zhu's eyes immediately turned sinister. He gave a malicious smile and said in a meaningful tone, "Ling Qingxian, I'm back." Feng Zhu slowly lowered his face, getting closer to Qingshuan's neck. Suddenly, he snapped out of it, dazed and confused about what was happening. His eyes widened in astonishment. Feng Zhu looked at Qingxian sleeping soundly beneath him and couldn't help but shout in embarrassment. "What am I doing? I can't believe I had such depraved thoughts about Master. No, I can't. Get down now." The next morning, the bright sunlight shone down on the scenery below. Qingxian had now finished self-healing. She yawned and thought to herself, not everyone can be a child of heaven. Talent is just a basic value. As long as one works hard in the future, it will also have a good effect. She praised aloud, "My disciple is so diligent. I didn't expect you to practice the sword all night." Feng Zhu, who had actually been up to no good, felt guilty and didn't dare to enter the house. ZZ suddenly appeared and announced, new mission here. The top-grade marrow cleansing and meridian purifying pills that the host ordered a few days ago are ready. Please go to the treasure pavilion to get the pills to help Feng Zhu cultivate. Qingxian smiled gently. "Considering he worked hard for me all night, I'll consider this as compensation for him." Sometime later, at the treasure pavilion, a loud shout was suddenly heard. "Senior Sister Qi Yuan, these are the pills that Elder Ling ordered a few days ago. You can't take them. The disciples were trying to stop her. If you just snatch them like this, and Elderling blames us, how are we supposed to explain ourselves? Qi Yuan thought viciously, what's so great about that Ling Qingxian? A sharp chin, lips as thick as sausages, nothing more than a filthy thing. Yet you all listen to her? I'm going to snatch her things. She spoke arrogantly. This princess is the most favored princess of the court. My father is the emperor. My uncle is the sect master of the Qinquan sect. Let alone some pills. This whole world belongs to this princess. If I want to take it, I'll take it. Before she could finish her sentence, a foot stomped flat on Qi Yuan's face. That person was none other than Ling Qingxian. Qi Yuan, her face bruised, lay sprawled on the ground and shouted, Ling Qingxian, you dare to step on this princess's face? She directly ignored her and said coldly, this seat has come to get the pills. Qi Yuan screamed in anger. Do you know how noble my face is? A country bumpkin like you must spend a lot of effort on makeup. Huh? How dare you ignore me? Qingxian paid her no mind and asked the disciple, are the pills I told you to prepare ready yet? She asked again in a stern voice, where are this seat's top-grade marrow cleansing and meridian purifying pills? The medicine boy immediately took out a bottle of medicinal pills and replied respectfully, reporting to Elder, the pills have been prepared according to the Elder's instructions. At the same time, Qi Yuan, with a scowl on her face, was summoning spiritual power to her fingertips. She shot it towards the medicine boy's hand that was holding the pill bottle, causing him to cry out in alarm. Qi Yuan quickly caught the bottle of medicinal pills. She said contemptuously, this princess has had her eye on this bottle of pills for a long time. Besides, giving it to your stupid, untalented disciple would be a waste of heaven's gifts. Qi Yuan asked in a harsh tone, am I right, Elderling? Seeing this, Qingxian fell silent and contemplative. The medicine boy knelt down and hurriedly tried to stop her. You can't, Senior Sister Qi. It's true that Elderling wanted to get these pills first. If Senior Sister likes them, I will immediately refine one for you. You can get it tomorrow. She slapped him hard across the face without hesitation. Qi Yuan kicked the medicine boy hard in the chest, causing him to cough up blood, and then yelled, get lost. Still not satisfied, she even stomped on his arm until the bone broke. Only then did Qingxian speak up. What are you doing? You crippled his hand just for a bottle of pills? Qi Yuan put on a vicious expression and said with deep contempt, what he lost is just one hand, but what this Qi Yuan lost was face and dignity. Besides, this Qinquan sect values strength. I'm the top disciple. What's wrong with teaching a lowly medicine boy a lesson? She continued to stomp hard on his chest and sneered, a blind medicine boy who doesn't even know whose home the Qinquan sect is. He deserves to have his hand crippled. This kind of scum is only worthy of pleasing me with his screams. Hearing this, Qingxian just gave a faint smile. She decisively slapped Qi Yuan hard across the face. She nodded, you're right. Qingxian sat down leisurely on a chair and said calmly, after all, the Qinquan sect speaks with strength, so it's reasonable for me to hit you. ZZ came closer to flatter her. Filing the nails for the strongest elder of the Qinquan sect is the highest honor in a pig's life. Qingxian, while filing her nails, asked, if your martial arts are not as high as mine, then I can punish you as I please, right? Qi Yuan clutched her swollen cheek, speechless, and shouted, you, what are you planning to do? She began to summon spiritual power into her palm and replied in a harsh tone, naturally, to let you enjoy yourself. As she finished speaking, a whirlwind appeared, lifting Qi Yuan into the air. She screamed in panic, damned Ling Qingxian, let me down. Qingxian paid her no mind and snapped her fingers. Qi Yuan was immediately spun like Nobita's bamboo copter. She shrieked, are you trying to kill me? You can't kill me. I didn't kill him either. At most, I just injured his hand. Qingxian said contemptuously, little miss playing innocent. It's useless to pretend to be weak now. Big Sister here is the world's top air purifier, specializing in treating all kinds of defiance. With that, she raised her hand and pulled Qi Yuan closer. Qingxian squeezed her neck tightly and said angrily, but you're right, you haven't killed anyone yet, so I won't kill you either. She gave a faint, threatening smile. This seat will just cripple your eyes. Qingxian continued slowly. Even if you lose both eyes, in return, this seat will be happy. Hearing this, Qi Yuan's face turned pale with fear as she thought to herself, this woman is crazy. Isn't anyone going to stop her? Qi Qizi, the vice sect master of the Qinquan sect and Qi Yuan's uncle, suddenly walked in and shouted, what's all this noise about? Seeing her savior, she called out, "Uncle." Cheesy asked suspiciously, "What happened?" Chi Yuan tearfully tattled, "Uncle, save me. Elder Ling wants to kill me. I came to the treasure pavilion to get a new sword and ran into Elder Ling." She played the innocent victim like a pro, wiping her tears and saying softly, "Who knew that Elder Ling would attack Yuan for no reason at all? Yuan is so wronged. I'm crying." Qing Xian sighed and said mockingly, "I take back what I just said. Only pretty girls can play the innocent act. A type like you is just called ugly and annoying." Hearing this, Qi Yuan became furious and shouted, What do you mean by that? You just insulted me, didn't you?" She rolled up her sleeve to reveal the wound on her wrist and tattled, "Uncle, look, this is the proof that Elder Ling injured me." Qi Yuan said decisively, "If Uncle hadn't come, I'm afraid you wouldn't have been able to see Yuan again. You must punish her severely." Hearing this, Qi Cheesy immediately shouted in reprimand, "Well done, Ling Qing Xian. As an elder, you dare to attack a disciple and even abuse your power to punish a disciple. You are a disgrace to your title as a cultivator." He ordered in a harsh tone, "Men, tie up Ling Qing Xian and take her to the Zhuxian terrace to have her immortal bones stripped as a warning." All the disciples immediately followed his orders, drawing their swords and approaching Qing Xian step by step. In a moment, they had surrounded her. Seeing this, Qing Xian sneered. It's been a long time since this seat went hunting. She began to summon spiritual power into her hand and said leisurely, "Today, I'll play with you all." They shouted at each other, "Charge!" And immediately the whole group rushed towards Qing Xian at the same time. She gave a triumphant smile and with a gentle flick of her finger. In an instant, all the disciples were sent flying far away. Seeing this, Chi Cheesy's face turned pale as he wondered to himself, How is this possible? These are all my best disciples, yet they couldn't even withstand a single blow from her. Qing Xian suddenly appeared behind him and Qi Yuan and asked in a deep voice, "You just said you wanted to strip my immortal bones, right?" She thought for a moment and then continued slowly, "Well, out of respect for the tradition of respecting the old and loving the young, I can let you choose. Do you want her left leg or your right leg broken?" Qing Xian asked in a harsh tone, "Have you thought it through? Choose." Hearing this, Cheesy's voice trembled as he replied, "Don't, please don't." All that could be heard were cries of pain. All the disciples of the Qinquan sect had been beaten to a pulp by Qing Xian, stacked up into a tall tower. Seeing this, Chi Cheesy was furious and shouted, You just wait?" She said leisurely, so satisfying. Zizi brought tea and said respectfully, "Host, please have some tea." Qing Xian said defiantly, "This seat will take this marrow cleansing and meridian purifying pill. If you're not convinced, wait until your legs heal and then come find me." With that, she turned and left. Mu Lin, hiding behind, witnessed everything that happened. He gave a sinister smile and thought to himself, Ling Qing Xian is indeed very strong. I must take Feng Zhu's place and possess her. That evening, Feng Zhu brought out a plate of delicious food and muttered to himself, "Master looks too weak. I must nourish her to make her fatter." He looked at a banquet fit for 20 people and nodded in satisfaction. "This time I'll go all out. I'll make 100 dishes for now. I must secretly remember which dishes Master likes." Suddenly, there was the sound of light footsteps on the floor. Feng Zhu's puppy-like ears perked up to listen. He turned his head and said excitedly, "Master, you're back." A disciple of the Qinquan sect walked in with a sinister smile and asked, "Junior brother Feng is busy cooking?" Seeing him, Feng Zhu's face darkened and he growled, "Get out." The man continued to approach and sneered, "Little junior brother is young but bold. I see your aptitude is poor. I don't know why Elder Ling chose you as an introductory disciple." He slowly stroked Feng Zhu's chest and said in a suggestive tone, "She must have taken a liking to your looks. Look at this smooth skin. Let alone Elder Ling. Even a man like me is moved." Feng Zhu's hands clenched unconsciously. The Qinquan sect disciple gave a strange smile and said in a creepy voice, "I think the two of you don't usually cultivate, but are preparing to secretly do depraved things. Maybe in a few days, Elder Ling's belly will have the product of." Feng Zhu couldn't take it anymore and punched him in the face. The man only had time to shout, "This guy." His face darkened as he warned, "Do not insult my master." The Qinquan sect disciple clutched his swollen face and started shouting, "How can this be? A beggar like you dares to hit me? You are not worthy of entering our Qinquan sect. Men, tear his clothes off for me." They rushed towards Feng Zhu, sneering loudly. "Being fellow disciples with a beggar like you is an insult to our noble blood." Hearing this, he gave a faint smile. Seeing this, the other disciple warned cautiously, "Everyone be careful. We don't know what tricks his lover has secretly taught him." Suddenly, his eyes widened, filled with bloodshot veins. Feng Ju approached him, his face dark, and asked, "What did you say?" The man was now being choked by him. He said contemptuously, "The Qinquan sect now really accepts any kind of scum." The other disciple burst into tears in fear, his voice trembling. "Feng Ju, you stinky brat, I'm warning you. I am the sole heir of 3 generations of cultivators. I have other masters above me. If you dare." Feng Ju gently twisted his arm and asked, "Dare to do this?" The man cried out in pain, I was wrong. My arm is broken. Junior brother Feng, please spare me." Feng Ju threw him to the ground in annoyance. The Qinquan sect disciple, now with a missing front tooth, glared at him resentfully. He picked up his sword and rushed forward, shouting, "Die!" Feng Ju glanced at him with a sharp gaze and asked in a harsh tone, "Rushing up to die? Then I'll grant your wish." Suddenly, Qing Xin appeared and hit Feng Ju on the head, shouting, "Stop!" He clutched his head and asked dazedly, "My master, you're back?" Her face darkened as she said sternly, "This venerable one ordered you to sweep the courtyard." She pointed to the messy courtyard where a chair was overturned and asked, "Is this how you sweep?" Seeing her, the Qinquan sect disciples became as obedient and foolish as different people. They stammered, "Elder Ling." Qing Xian sighed and called softly, "Disciple." Feng Ju bit his lip and thought worriedly, "It's over. I must have made Master angry." She reached out and flicked him hard on the forehead. Qing Xian asked sternly, "There are dogs barking loudly in front of the house, and you didn't deal with them for this venerable one?" Seeing that the situation was not good, the disciples prepared to flee. Qing Xian suddenly stood in front of the 3 of them. She gave a sinister smile. "He who insults others will be insulted by others." Qing Xian asked in a harsh tone, "You like to bully people, right?" Seeing her like this, they were terrified and shouted, "Elder Ling, spare us." She said calmly, "Considering you took such good care of my disciple, I won't treat you badly. These are the villains this seat captured a few days ago. They've been hungry for a few days, so they're extremely fierce. If you use them for training, you can increase your strength. They're a gift to you." The one-eyed man gave a greedy smile and coaxed, "Come here tonight, sweetie. I'll be very gentle." Qing Xian quickly turned and left, coldly dropping a sentence, "Enjoy yourselves." She ignored the continuous, miserable screams behind her. "Elder Ling, spare us. We disciples won't dare to do it again. Please don't." Seeing this, Zizi muttered to himself, "If you mess with this petty person, you'd better pray for your ancestors' blessings." Qing Xian suddenly approached, making Feng Ju's heart pound. She asked gently, "Are you still angry?" He was stunned and thought to himself, "No one has ever cared about my feelings like this. Master is the first person to treat me this way." Feng Ju blushed and stammered, "Thank you, Master." Qing Xian observed him carefully and thought, "Why does the villain turn dark at the slightest provocation? I'll have to keep a close eye on him from now on." Feng Ju asked doubtfully, "Does Master have any other instructions for this disciple?" She replied softly, "I do." Qing Xian pointed to his bare chest, exposed because his collar had been pulled open during the fight earlier. She instructed, "Eat more from now on. You're too thin." Feng Ju hurriedly covered his chest, his face beet red, and replied, "Yes." Sometime later, in the steamy bathroom, Feng Ju was soaking in a hot tub with his eyes closed peacefully. He recalled Qing Xuan's words from earlier, "Give me your clothes. Go take a bath with the marrow cleansing and meridian purifying pill." Feng Ju looked at his palm and smiled to himself. A top-grade marrow cleansing and meridian purifying pill is a once-in-a-thousand-years treasure, extremely hard to obtain, specifically for those who have not officially started cultivating. It can wash away all impurities in the meridians and also enhance one's aptitude and spiritual veins. Master is too good to me to go to such lengths to help me cultivate. He stood up abruptly and said decisively, "I must increase my strength and not disappoint your expectations." At the same time, Qing Xian opened the door and said cheerfully, "Disciple, I've finished sewing your clothes." Her attention fell on the area below Feng Ju's waist. The atmosphere suddenly became awkward. Qing Xian put on the air of a serious official and commented, "I take back what I said before. You may be thin, but in reality, You're very impressive. Keep it up. Hearing this, Fengju was mortified and called out in exasperation, Master. Fengju turned around and used both hands to tightly cover his bare upper body. Disciple is bathing. I must trouble Master to leave first. Qingxian turned around resentfully, placed the clothes on the table, and silently cursed him with the little pig. Heartbroken, this stinky brat. This seat kindly sewed his clothes for him and didn't even get a word of thanks. The host is too heartless. It was clearly me who sewed them. She walked out with a dark face. However, before she left, she managed to spot something. It was Qingxuan's eyes widened, glued to the scratched back of the other person. Scars. Fengju blushed and bit his lips lightly. She must be gone, right? But when he looked up, the other person's figure was standing right in front of him. Without any hesitation, Qingxian grabbed both of his hands and lifted him up. Let Master see. She pulled his soaking wet body close to hers in one motion. Her hand gently caressed his scar-covered back. Were the wounds on your body caused by those guys? Let this seat check them quickly. Wait, don't touch randomly. Those people didn't hurt me. These are old wounds. Qingxuan's eyes held a hint of sadness. These wounds are indeed old. It must have been his heartless parents. Fengju hid his blushing face in her shoulder and pleaded softly, Master, can you let your disciple go? Qingxian calmly turned and walked towards the door. Disciple, calm down. This master has lived for 1,000 years. What haven't I seen? Come out quickly after you're done bathing. This seat will apply scar removal medicine for you. A feeling of annoyance welled up. He replied resentfully, Disciple understands. Master, have you really seen a lot? Zizi, standing by the side, laughed inhumanly. Following the host every day, not only do I get the pleasure of seeing others get slapped in the face, but I also get to see a handsome guy naked. After finishing his bath, Fengju went to the bed and lay face down for his master to apply the medicine. Disciple, endure it for a moment. It'll be over soon. Zizi flew around, constantly teasing. The scene of a kind master and a filial disciple is so beautiful. A fly flew in from outside and buzzed in front of her face. It kept hovering in front of Qingxian, causing her to become annoyed. It refused to leave no matter how many times she shooed it away, so her expression grew worse and worse. At this point, her annoyance had reached its peak. Ignoring Zizi's attempts to stop her, Qingxian raised her hand and slapped the insect. Wait, you damn insect! Immediately after, a loud cry from Zizi echoed throughout the room. Host, are you trying to murder the villain? A series of acupuncture needles were laid out on the table. After treating the other person's injuries, Qingxian cleared her throat twice. This master has set your bones and performed acupuncture for you. Remember to practice your sword after breakfast tomorrow morning. Zizi looked at the weak, pitiful, and helpless Fengju, who was wrapped up like a dumpling, covered in needles, and crying on the bed, and couldn't help but feel sorry for him. Yes, thank you, master. Poor villain. I wonder if he'll live to see the day the host completes her mission. Soon, his body had recovered, full of vitality. Fengju held his sword and was able to start practicing martial arts. His every movement was extremely agile and skillful. With just a few simple slashes, the sharp blade immediately cut the large tree trunk in front of him in half. Qingxian, watching from the side, couldn't help but click her tongue in approval. Not bad. You're improving very quickly. It seems you've been practicing diligently according to my instructions lately. She walked over and took hold of his wrist that was holding the sword. But you have a problem. Qingxian pressed herself against Fengju's back and whispered in his ear, when you practice the sword, you follow the movements in the book too rigidly and neglect your own sword heart. That's why your body is too stiff. If you continue like this, your moves will be slow and lack fighting spirit. Her full chest unconsciously brushed against him. Feel it again. Fengju's cheeks involuntarily turned red. I think I just felt Master's chest. Qingxian leaned close to his ear and teased, Why are you so stiff? Hearing this, Zizi immediately cried out in a panic. Host, restrain yourself. Stop. Don't use that deadpan face to say things that make people misunderstand. Qingxian gently placed her hand on Fengju's soft brown hair. Relax, bend down, don't be so stiff. The other person's handsome face, serious in his learning, suddenly made her heart beat a little faster than usual. Zizi, lying lazily by the side, quickly reminded her, Host, don't forget your main mission is to expose Qi Yuan's true face and successfully ascend. Spending all day idly and indulging in handsome men, with your eyes glued to Fengju, what kind of ZZ would that be? This seat has not forgotten. Qing Xian immediately withdrew her hand and instructed in a cold voice, "This master has business down the mountain. Disciple, stay and watch the house carefully." She turned her back and threw him a book. "You have until nightfall to finish practicing this secret manual. I will check when I get back tonight. It's time to go expose Qi Yuan's true face, so that pig won't be making a fuss in my ear all day." Feng Zhu reached out and caught the book a little dazed. Then, a slight smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. Yes, an indescribable joy welled up in his heart. After meeting Master, I finally have a home. On the other side, Qing Xian couldn't help but feel embarrassed by the words she had just said. "Host, why is your face so red?" "It's just sword practice." She frowned and quickened her pace forward. "Strange, why did my heart suddenly beat so fast, and I became short of breath just now?" At this moment, an extremely quiet atmosphere enveloped the Qianquan sect. Qi Yuan, leaning on a crutch, limped into the room. Her face was flushed as she held a small wooden box and said eagerly, "Junior Brother Mu, this is a token of my sincerity. Although it can't compare to the marrow cleansing and meridian purifying pill, it is also beneficial to your body. I hope you will accept it." Mu Lin stared blankly at the box in front of him for a while. Then he coldly turned his back and waved his hand. "Thank you, senior sister, but Master has already strengthened my foundation for me. Senior sister should keep that pill for your own use." In her mind, Tevin endlessly cursed the other party. But on the surface, she still had to put on a dazzling smile. "Mo Lam dares to refuse my good intentions? It seems the rumors are true. He likes that old woman Lang Tanhuin. I'm the current princess. How dare an orphan with no parents or relatives like Mo Lam refuse me? It's all that bitch Lang Tanhuin's fault. Truly a fox spirit that seduces men. Die. Junior Brother Lam is too polite." Just then, a voice rang in her ear, startling her and making her fall flat. "Are you secretly cursing this venerable one?" The crowd, seeing a good show, immediately gathered around. "Breaking your leg didn't make you learn your lesson. The nourishing soup wasn't enough to make you wiser. Does this venerable one have to cripple you for you to turn over a new leaf?" Tevin immediately played the innocent victim, using the skills of an outstanding Oscar-winning actress to raise her hand and wipe away 2 streams of tears. "I clearly already apologized. Why is Elder Lang still holding a grudge? If you insist on targeting me, then I can only accept the punishment. Everyone please judge for me." She probably wouldn't dare do anything to me in front of so many people, unless she's willing to bear the reputation of being narrow-minded and bullying a disciple, which she is anyway. Tan Huin jutted her chin towards Mo Lam, who had been pulled away by other female disciples. "Junior Brother Mo, wait for us. Let's go to the lecture hall together. Stop pretending. They've already gone far away." Tevin angrily gritted her teeth. Damn it. She immediately revealed her true form as a goblin, pointing her finger at the other's face and letting out harsh words. "Lang Tanhuin, what the hell are you bitch, to dare climb over my head time and time again? Ugly people like you should just obediently serve as a backdrop for my beauty, yet every single one of you dares to covet my men." Tanhuin's mouth curved into a cold smile. "Ugly, your men, you talk big. Aren't you afraid of biting your tongue?" She continued to run her mouth. "This princess is the most beautiful person in this world. All stupid men should be played by me until they run in circles and then kneel to lick my feet. As for you all, you only deserve to pick up the old things I'm tired of playing with. But let me tell you, recently there have been too many stupid men at Qianquan Gate. Every day they are there diligently practicing and cultivating for ascension. They could clearly have their spiritual powers sucked dry by a fellow disciple. But every single one of them is as stupid as a pig." ZZ, hearing this, immediately thrashed about. "Hey, an adorable pig like me feels offended." Tan Huin nodded. "No wonder Qianquan Gate often has missing disciples. So it turns out you're the one who harmed them." Tevin, leaning arrogantly on her crutch, Lang Tan Huin, "Even if I tell you everything, what can you do to me? My cultivation was all obtained by absorbing the spiritual power of others." She laughed maniacally, pointing at the other person. "But who will believe your words without evidence? I just need to insist that you are framing me. Then I'll borrow the power of my useless uncle, combined with my royal authority, and it will surely bring you to ruin and a dishonorable death." Tan Huin tilted her head and spoke calmly. "Is that so? I hope you can still smile when you go out later." A deep, muffled voice suddenly sounded from behind her. Tavine, what did you just say? Behind her, a crowd had gathered at some point, taken two ass with a dark face. You dare to slaughter your fellow disciples. Uncle Elder, when did they get here? Tan Huyn swooped her aside and whispered right in her ear, why so quiet? You were crowing so loudly just now. Are you mute now? Tavine knelt down before Kintu without hesitation. She burst into sobs and explained, that's not it. Uncle, Elder Lang used a spell to force me to say those words. Uncle, esteemed elders. Elder Lang didn't teach me. She was about to kill me just now. If you all hadn't arrived in time, I'm afraid I wouldn't have been able to see you all again. Tan Huyn couldn't help but applaud the other's performance. That brain works fast. You thought of a sophistry in an instant, but above her head, a mirror immediately appeared, recording all the words Tavine had just said. My retrospection mirror has recorded everything you said earlier. Why don't the elders sit down, have a cup of tea, and enjoy some deer-filled beefcakes to see what it's all about? Tavine's face immediately turned green as a frog's bottom. Retrospection. So everything I just said to her was seen by everyone. No, the image I worked so hard to build cannot be destroyed like this. Thinking this, she frantically slammed her head on the ground. Elder Lang, I was wrong. I will be your horse or your ox in the future. I beg you not to use that mirror. Tan Huyn coldly waved her hand in a circle. A silencing talisman quickly stuck firmly to her constantly chattering mouth. Tavine stared in horror at the person in front of her. This venerable one has heard enough of your dog words. She cracked her knuckles, preparing to teach the other a lesson she would never forget. Begging for mercy now. It's too late. She approached and lifted Tavine's tear-streaked face, sneering, what goes around comes around. It has nothing to do with having improper values. Tan Huyn leaned close to her ear and whispered, but even if you weren't targeting me, this venerable one would still have to teach you how to be a person, you know? Tavine trembled and shook her head violently, signaling for the other person not to do it. The disciples had now all gathered here to watch the fun. Hey, what happened? It seems Tavine has offended Elder Lang again. Look at the mirror behind Elder Lang. Isn't that Tavine? I almost didn't recognize her. It seems she's cursing someone. Her face is so terrifying. Lam was also present now, staring at Tan Huyn without blinking. Elder Lang has come down a mountain? She waved her hand and pointed straight at her retrospection mirror. Tavine's venomous words echoed from it everywhere. Ugly people like you should just obediently serve as a backdrop for my beauty. Yet every single one of you dares to covet my men. Lang Tan Huyn, even if I tell you everything, what can you do to me? My cultivation was all obtained by absorbing the spiritual power of others. The crowd below immediately expressed their indignation. Tavine usually acts so ladylike, but behind our back she's like this? I didn't miss here just now, did I? Tavine dared to kill a fellow disciple? My junior sister went missing without a reason that year. It's possible Tavine harmed her. How can such a wicked person be worthy of cultivating the Tao? She must be killed. Tavine rushed out to stand in front of the mirror and hastily explained, no, everything in the mirror is not true. It's fake. It's all fake. Don't believe it. Her face a mess of tears and snot. She turned to beg Tan Huyn, Elder Lang, this disciple knows she was wrong. I beg you to spare this disciple. Tan Huyn replied in a cold voice, I can spare you. The other people in the sect were staring at the evil woman with eyes full of killing intent, but it seems they don't agree. They all rushed forward, punching, kicking, and throwing stones at Tavine, no matter how she crawled and begged. Get out of Chinkawin Gate, you scum die, get out. Elder Lang, I was wrong. Please spare me. Tan Huyn emerged from the chaos and stretched comfortably. The mission to expose Tavine is considered done. Now I can go back and catch up on sleep. As expected of the host, success comes as soon as you act. The sun was now preparing to set, and she couldn't help but worry about her disciple at home. I've been out for so long. Fong Jiak must be hungry. Maybe I'll go to the kitchen and get some special food for my disciple. At this moment, Lam hurriedly chased after her from behind. Elder Lang, please wait. His eyes looked at her, full of joy. You are, as expected. Elder Lang still remembers me. Tan Huyn pointed at the other person and asked ZZ, who is he? His face is completely unfamiliar. Was he in the previous chapters? Host, he is the male lead of this world, Lam. Lam bowed politely. Why is the elder talking to the air by herself? She must be a master, so her temperament is a bit strange. This disciple wants to take Elder Lang as my master. I wonder if Elder Lang would. Before he could finish his words, she quickly refused. No, you are already a disciple of Elder Tion. He gritted his teeth in resentment. It's because of my family's feud that I targeted Chinquan Gate. Only by taking Lang Tan Huin as my master can I gain the strength to rule the martial world again. But why did you choose someone as incompetent as Fong Jiak in the beginning? And now you keep refusing me. Mo Lam grabbed Tan Huin's hand. Elder Lang, what do I lack compared to Fong Jiak? Seeing the other's improper action, her face quickly darkened. If you don't let go of my hand, I will kill you. While Tan Huin and Mo Lam were struggling, Fong Jiak suddenly appeared. Master, his face darkened as he looked at her tightly held hand and began to question. Why are you with Mo Lam? ZZ fearfully raised a hand to cover its face, screaming, Warning, warning. The villain is detected to have a tendency to darken. Tan Huin quickly pulled her hand back. It's nothing. He was just asking me to teach him magic. Strange who this venerable one is with, what I'm doing. Why do I have to explain it to him? She glanced at him and gently scolded. What are you standing there for? Have you finished learning the sword manual this venerable one taught you today? But Fong Jiak coldly ignored the other's question. Master, go back first. Your disciple has something to say to senior brother Mo. Mo Lam, with a blank face, directed his gunpowder-scented gaze towards him. The two of them retreated to a deserted place in Chinquan Gate with no one around. Mo Lam then spoke up. What does junior brother Fong want to say to me? Fong Jiak stated his point without any hesitation. Senior brother Mo is now a disciple of Elder Tion. I hope you won't have a foot in both camps. Not only did he not listen, but he also drew his sword to challenge him with an extremely contemptuous attitude. Fong Jiak has extremely poor aptitude, has just entered the sect, and has no foundation to speak of. Even if he is taught by Elder Lang, there is nothing to be afraid of. I might as well take this opportunity to break his self-esteem. When he voluntarily withdraws, the position of Elder Lang's disciple will naturally belong to me. Mo Lam, why don't we have a match? Fong Jiak frowned and set a condition. Disciples in Chinquan Gate are not allowed to fight without permission. You and I will have a public match to decide the winner at the sword trial tournament in 2 months. If I win, you will not pester my master anymore. Mo Lam pointed his sword at the other person. Fine, if I get first place, you have to give up the position of Elder Lang's disciple to me. His lips were tightly pressed as he stood still, listening to his challenging words and promising to never get close to Elder Lang again. Fong Jiak did not answer, just stood there staring at Mo Lam. Faced with his determined gaze, he couldn't help but feel angry. After the conversation ended, Fong Jiak walked slowly back to Xinqing Hall. Sharp, pitch-black spinning tops suddenly flew quickly from nowhere. Fong Jiak gracefully leaned over, instantly avoiding their attack. Tan Huin stood in a corner and smiled faintly. You dodged it, disciple. What did you and Mo Lam talk about? He coldly clasped his hands in front of him and said, Nothing. Your disciple is going to continue practicing the sword. This expression immediately made her and ZZ a little curious. Host, it seems Fong Jiak is not very happy. Maybe he was bullied by someone again? Thinking this, she also waved her hand and turned slightly. Never mind, you go and cultivate. But just as Tan Huin turned her back, a pair of arms suddenly hugged her from behind. He leaned close to the other's ear and whispered, Master, do you regret taking me as your disciple? In her heart, she was constantly screaming, Yes, I regret it to death. Such a weak soul. Host, at a time like this, you're still rubbing salt in the villain's wound. You should be comforting him. Tan Huin glanced sideways at ZZ in annoyance. This venerable one is not a nanny. Although she thought so, she still raised her hand to gently stroke that soft hair and said softly, Your master has never done anything she regrets. These words immediately moved him. Master, thank you. Master said she doesn't regret it. Does that mean she is very satisfied with me? No, I can't be clingy anymore. From now on, I must try harder to make Master satisfied in every way. It was a while before Fong Jiak realized the distance between the two of them was 0. He hurriedly backed away and scratched his head shyly. Master, I'm going to continue cultivating. Men and women should not be so close, and I dare to hug Master for so long. I really don't understand propriety. He said that and left with his blushing face. Tan Huin suddenly called him back. Wait, only now did she notice that his clothes looked extremely tattered. Tan Huin secretly observed him carefully. This guy is truly diligent and hardworking, practicing the sword day and night. He's about to become a sword fanatic. His comprehension is clearly very good, and his progress is also very fast, but he is not arrogant at all. This kind of heart is truly rare. His hands were now covered with large and small wounds. ZZ kindly reminded, "That's right, host. Tomorrow is Fong Jiak's birthday. Do you want to prepare a gift?" Tan Huyen turned sharply to look at it with eyes full of gunpowder. "A birthday gift? I just happen to think Fong Jiak is very thin. Why don't I use you to nourish his body?" The little pig, with a desperate desire to live, hurriedly shouted, "Host, please. I am a 3-0 pig without a quarantine certificate." ZZ thought of Fong Jiak's strong body and was envious because it had nothing but belly fat. Where is he thin? He looks strong and healthy with an 8-pack, and that certain place is not weak either. A bold thought flashed through its mind. Why don't you give yourself to him? Something like dual cultivation, and the favorability will skyrocket. Tan Huyen found this interesting. Dual cultivation, that could be worth a try. Seeing that she didn't refuse, ZZ hurriedly ran after her to stop her. "Wait, no way. I was just saying it casually. The host isn't really planning to dual cultivate with him, right?" Fong Jiak was now sitting and circulating his energy in a very quiet room. In his heart, he had secretly made a resolution. I must defeat M.O. Lam and be with Master forever. The door was suddenly pushed open by Tan Huyen with a soft call. "Disciple." She looked at Fong Jiak with a very benevolent gaze. "Come here and dual cultivate." Tan Huyen did not hesitate to extend her hand towards the other person. Fong Jiak's cheeks involuntarily turned as red as 2 tomatoes. His mind was completely blank at this moment. A series of questionable questions arose in his mind. Dual flying, dual lovemaking, or dual cultivation. Last time it seems Master praised me for being big. Could it be that Master and I'm a man after all? Maybe it's better if I take the initiative later? Although his brain speed increased by 10,086 horsepower, his mouth was still shy. Dual cultivation, that's too fast. Hey, host, say something, he's panicking. The more Fong Jiak thought, the more embarrassed he became, raising his hand to cover his face. Tan Huyen casually clicked her tongue. "I'm already here." Moreover, she walked towards him without hesitation and spoke confidently. No one can refuse this venerable one. He stumbled backward, his mouth stammering. "Master, but his confession of, 'I will never refuse you,' was swallowed by her and the sound of his own rapidly beating heart. Save your energy for screaming later. Night fell, and Xianxing Hall continuously emitted extremely ambiguous sounds. "Master, be gentle." The shadow of Tan Huyen moved up and down through the screen. ZZ stood behind, listening to Fong Jiak's panting, feeling somewhat helpless. "What's wrong? Are you going to continue?" "Master, okay, host." It angrily puffed up its whole body into a pufferfish. "Is this the dual cultivation you were talking about? Just this?" Tan Huyen, holding a rope that tightly bound Fong Jiak's body, asked with a sly voice. "Disciple, how is cultivating with your master?" "Very comfortable." "Host, you are an epically dense straight girl. I won't be fooled by you again." A moment later, she let go of the other person. Not bad. To be able to withstand a fragment of this venerable one's spiritual energy while being suppressed by a spiritual power rope. Fong Jiak is the disciple this venerable one has chosen. ZZ leaned against the wall helplessly. "Host, please stop this torturous behavior. Look at poor Fong Jiak. The feeling of being on a roller coaster is just like this. You're playing with a young boy's heart. You are so cruel." Tan Huyen sat down beside him and asked softly, "What's wrong? Don't you like the birthday gift your master gave you?" Fong Jiak immediately shook his head. "Of course not. But why did master know my birthday?" She pretended to be concerned and worried about the other person. "If you have the heart, you will know. Your master has never celebrated anyone's birthday, so I didn't know what gift to give. I could only use dual cultivation to teach you combat techniques for fighting." ZZ crossed its arms in dissatisfaction and exposed the truth. Clearly all of this was actively provided to you by this living encyclopedia. These words immediately touched the heart of little Fong Jiak. For the first time, someone was celebrating his birthday with him. She patted her disciple's head. "If you don't like it, you can search freely in your master's storage ring. Take whatever you want. This venerable one has many treasures, countless novels, and Pokemon." He looked at Tan Huyen with eyes full of desire, the thing he wanted. She still had no idea that her disciple's wish was her, and was only focused on calculating what treasure she would give him The 7 Dragon Ball seem good? Or how about an XI? ZZ impatiently took out the notification board to check. Host, if you keep this up, you'll run out of favorability sooner or later. But wait, the favorability is skyrocketing to 90. Tan Huyen bared her fangs and gave a sly smile. Dual cultivation is truly a powerful weapon to increase favorability. A few more times, and the mission will be complete. You are such a straight steel woman. You've already pushed him this far. Fong Jiak was completely unaware of her plan and was still happily dreaming of getting closer to his master. Just wait a little longer. Once I win the sword trial tournament, I will ask to become Taoist partners with Master. In his mind, he had already imagined the image of openly holding Tan Huyen in his arms and cherishing her like a treasure. Early the next morning, Fong Jiak ran to the treasure pavilion of Chinquan Gate. The shop owner was surprised to see him. Oh my, isn't this Fong Jiak? Elder Lang's disciple who once caused such a stir that everyone in Chinquan Gate knew of him. I didn't expect him to come here to buy a magic treasure. In his heart, he couldn't help but wonder, that's not right. I heard that Elder Lang loves her disciple very much. She must have passed down many magic treasures. So why is he still coming to the treasure pavilion to choose items like this? Fong Jiak was playing the role of an excellent Taoist partner. The first step is to find a love token. This one is not worthy. This one is too vulgar. This one is not good. This one's quality is too poor. His eyes fell on a magic treasure lying in a corner. It was a very exquisitely carved yellow jade pendant. It immediately reminded Fong Jiak of Tan Huyen. The quality of this jade is very beautiful. It will definitely suit Master. Without hesitation, he used all his allowance as a head disciple to buy the item. I want to take this spiritual jade. Another voice suddenly rang out. I'll pay 10 times the spirit stones. I'll take this spiritual jade. The newcomer was Hong Thursday Lang, the first person to have a secret crush on M.O. Lam in Chinquan Gate. Senior brother Hong, if you're poor, you should act like it. Is this a place you can come to? The man walked over and looked at him with contempt. Just because you were lucky enough to become Elder Lang's disciple, you think you're worthy of calling me senior brother? Thursday Lang's eyes widened as he rushed forward to grab the spiritual jade. You want this spiritual jade, right? Well, I want to destroy it. Senior brother M.O. Lam is clearly 1,000 times better than you. Yet Elder Lang rejected him for you. I must help senior brother M.O. Lam vent this anger. A sore blade flashed past the man's face. Thursday Lang's face turned pale and his whole body trembled. What are you doing? Are you threatening me? Fong Jiak spoke coldly into his ear. You could try and see. Seeing a passerby walk by, Thursday Lang hurriedly ran to hide behind them. You don't think I'm scared just because you did that. You're just a disciple who just entered the sect. I'll let you go for today. The man used the stranger as a shield, using the most cowardly action to say the most vicious words. Next month is the sword trial tournament. I will definitely let you know how powerful I am. You just wait. Fong Jiak took the jade pendant and turned to leave. The sword trial champion is mine. Clenching it in his hand, a fire of determination was ignited in his mind. Master is also mine. He returned to Xianqing Hall and diligently got to work. After a while of fiddling, Fong Jiak finally cheered happily. It's done. In his hand was a hairpin made from the spiritual jade he had bought. Master will definitely like it. Fong Jiak kissed it and ran off to find Tan Huyen. I'll go get it to Master now. His eyes shone brightly like a puppy's as he peeked his head into her room. Ma. But Tan Huyen was not here. Her room was empty, not a single person in sight, which made him a little disappointed. Fong Jiak walked inside and picked up the letter placed neatly on the table. It said that she had to go into seclusion for a month to raise her realm, and during this time, she instructed him to cultivate on his own. Do not use force, but if someone bullies you, fight back, abstain from lust, and for the sword trial tournament, just do your best. He was moved as he looked at the martial arts manuals and hugged the letter to his chest. I didn't expect Master to still think of me, even when going into seclusion. I will definitely cultivate diligently, and in a month, I will win the sword trial championship to give to Master. At the same time, in the desolate and remote Lingbo cave, ZZ looked at Fong Jiak's favorability rating, which had risen to 95, and laughed happily. Lord Host, look how generous the favorability rating is. It said as it served Tan Huyen a glass of orange juice. The villain is really both gentle and fragrant. Are you really heartless enough to go into seclusion for a month and not pay attention to him? Or should we just go back and cultivate? No, I have to go into seclusion to complete the second ascension mission. It pointed to the platter of delicious-looking food and invited, with your power, you will ascend quickly. You came here to cultivate because you wanted to give yourself a vacation, right? Tan Huin's face darkened as she glared at it. Are you teaching me how to do my job? This piglet wouldn't dare. Daddy, drink this refreshing drink. Forget it. Forget it. It's only a month. The villain is so powerful. Surely nothing will happen. A month later, the 233rd Sword Trial Tournament began. The female host of the tournament stepped forward and held up a sign. First match, Hong Thursday Lang versus Fong Jiak. Hearing their names, both of them stepped onto the competition stage without hesitation. Thursday Lang, with the same nonchalant attitude, spoke contemptuously. Today, I'm going to make you green grass. But before the man could even make a move, he quickly used his sword to send the opponent flying. My time cannot be wasted on you. Fong Jiak wins. The next match, senior brother Mo Lam wins. Both of them defeated everyone else to enter the final match. Both pairs of eyes were extremely determined, fixed on each other. Your opponent is me. The subsequent matches continued like this. Fong Jiak versus Han Tin. Fong Jiak wins. Mo Lam versus Lebak. Mo Lam wins. The long day of hard-fought competition quickly passed. Fong Jiak versus Bat Tri Hoa Vu. Fong Jiak wins. Mo Lam versus Tun Thuong Hung. Mo Lam wins. In a flash, it was time for the final match. The other disciples couldn't help but exclaim, "No way, in just a few short days, Fong Jiak has improved so quickly." One is a genius who initially stunned people. The other is a good-for-nothing who was almost driven away. I never thought they would now be standing on the same stage. I don't know who will be the champion today. They continuously mocked Fong Jiak. It's definitely senior brother Mo Lam. What the hell is that Fong Jiak? Even if Fong Jiak is a good-for-nothing, don't forget he has a good master. I think today's result is hard to say. Mo Lin raised his sword, his voice full of bitterness. Actually, I've hated you for a long time. It started when Elder Ling took you as a disciple instead of choosing me in the hall. A genius like Elder Ling was destined to be my master. Feng Ju calmly drew his weapon as well. My master is naturally outstanding. I advise you to stop daydreaming. You belong only to me. The female host of the competition shouted excitedly. The final match begins. As she finished speaking, both of them charged at each other like madmen, swords in hand. Feng Ju spun with extreme grace, dodging his opponent's sharp blade. Mo Lin's face suddenly darkened. Impossible. In just one short month, how did he improve so quickly? This won't do. At this rate, I'll surely lose. I have to think of a way. I can't just sit here and wait to die. He immediately resorted to a dirty trick. Several small throwing needles appeared in his hand. The smile on his face gradually twisted into a grimaced eye. Feng Ju immediately sensed that something was wrong, that a hidden weapon. He hurriedly leaned back to dodge. Mo Lin's voice still ringing in his ears. I absolutely cannot lose. I must become Elder Ling's head disciple, no matter what tricks I have to use. Due to a moment of carelessness, Feng Ju was hit by the dart. He spat out a mouthful of fresh blood, his mouth trembling. The sect has rules. During a competition, you're not allowed to use hidden weapons to harm fellow disciples. You are truly despicable. Mo Lin's eyes widened as he sneered. No one saw it anyway. As long as I can win, who cares what methods I use? Now, victory and defeat are clear. From now on, everything that is yours will be mine. At that time, Qing Xian had not yet emerged from Lingbo Cave. Her eyes slowly opened, a bad premonition rising in her heart. Strange, why did my heart suddenly beat so fast just now? In the competition arena, both Feng Ju and Mo Lin had stopped fighting under the puzzled gazes of countless people. Raindrops suddenly began to fall one by one. The weather has changed. The female referee struck the bell 3 times. Victory and defeat are clear. In this sword trial convention, senior brother Mo Lin is the winner. Both sides, please lower your weapons and step down. Ignoring her words, a murderous glint suddenly flashed in his eyes. I have a feeling Feng Ju will be the greatest enemy of my life. I might as well take this opportunity to kill him. No sooner said than done. Mo Lin flew straight at his opponent with his sword die. As the blade neared, the only thing Feng Ju could think of was his master. A flash of anger appeared in the depths of his eyes. I will absolutely not give you up to anyone. A ray of light flew from nowhere, deflecting Mo Lin's attack. His face turned pale as he shouted, his sword hand beginning to tremble. What? Qing Xian rushed to block Feng Zhu, her voice a low threat. Who dares to touch my disciple? She stared hard at Mo Lin. Are you tired of living? Seeing the familiar figure, Feng Zhu's spirits immediately lifted. Master. Qing Xian turned around and playfully tapped his forehead in reproach. I was only in seclusion for a month, and you've already become this pathetic? You don't even know to call for your master when you're being beaten? Mo Lin, his face as black as the bottom of a pot, spoke up. Elderling, this is the disciples' sword trial arena. An elder like you should not interfere. The affectionate scene between the two made him grind his teeth in annoyance. What's more, Feng Zhu has already been defeated by my sword. Qing Xian shot him a sidelong glance. You lost him? Feng Zhu shook his head firmly. No. She waved her hand, retrieving his fallen sword, and immediately demanded, then fight again. Xu Lang, covered in bandages, spoke with a bitter voice. Victory and defeat are clear. Even if you are an elder, you cannot disregard the sect's rules. Hearing him, the disciples below began to murmur among themselves. This is truly unreasonable favoritism. I didn't expect Elderling to be this kind of person. I'm leaving her fan club. This Elderling is getting worse and worse. Without a word, Qing Xian sent a sword technique flying toward Xu Lang. The layers of bandages and a few strands of his hair fluttered to the ground. You actually... Qing Xian glanced at him with contempt. Let alone low-level disciples like you. Even the elders are not worthy of teaching me what to do, understand? Feng Zhu stood beside her, stunned, watching her defy the world for him. Yes. Oh, what if I'm being protective? Anyone who is not convinced can come up here and challenge me. She let out a cold, annoyed snort under her breath. Examining Feng Zhu's wound, T.O. think he dared to use a poison needle in a sneak attack on my disciple during the competition. He truly has no regard for me. ZZ, sitting in a corner holding a notification board, observed and cheered the villain's villainy index. 75, 70, 65. The host is truly different, so cool. Just then, a stern voice rang out. Nonsense. What are you doing? Get down here at once. Don't disgrace your status. The outcome of this sword trial convention is already clear. According to the rules, Mo Lin, the champion, can make one request to the sect master and his own master. Feng Zhu, who ranked second, can make one request to his master. It's Elder Tian. Is Elder Tian standing up for Mo Lin? Hearing this, Mo Lin immediately dropped to his knees. This disciple and junior brother Feng had a prior agreement. Whoever wins would get Elder Ling's head disciple position. His smile gradually became inhuman. Just now, Feng Zhu was beaten by me to the point he couldn't even hold his sword steady. I hope junior brother Feng will honor our agreement and stop monopolizing Elderling. Feng Zhu frowned in annoyance. You despicable villain. You clearly ambushed me first. Qing Xian turned back with a cold face and asked her disciple, Feng Zhu, what did he just say? Host, calm down. There must be some misunderstanding in this matter. A sense of fear rose in his heart. Feng Zhu gritted his teeth, not daring to speak. Did he say you used me as a bet, like an object? She stared furiously into his eyes, as if trying to see what he was thinking. Is it true? A clap of thunder suddenly split the night sky. Feng Zhu swallowed lightly and answered slowly yes. Qing Xuan's shoulders slumped, unable to hide her disappointment. I considered you my disciple. I never thought you would see me as an object and easily bet me away to him. It seems you don't care to be my disciple either. Feng Zhu's face turned pale as he cried out in a hurry. No, it's not like that. She turned her back in anger and left decisively. If that's the case, why should I stand up for you? Let everything proceed according to the agreement. I'm no longer your master. These words were like a thunderclap to his ears. Mo Lin took this opportunity to kowtow heavily on the ground. Master, please accept this disciple's bow. From an angle no one could see, he broke into a twisted smile. That I did it. Mo Lin couldn't close his mouth. That I've finally become your disciple. At this moment, Elder Tian looked as if a bucket of cold water had been thrown in his face. He roared in anger. Do you know what you're saying? You are my most prized disciple, yet you're running off to acknowledge Ling Qing Xian as your master. Master, calm down. He hypocritically turned and bowed, but in his heart, he was cursing him 1,000 times. This disciple knows Elder Tian is good to Mo Lin, but only Elder Ling is the most suitable person to teach me. Please forgive me, Elder Tian. Calling a vain old man like you master makes me sick. Only an unparalleled fairy-like elderling is worthy of being my master. He quickly walked to Qingshuan's side. Master, shall we return to Xianxin Peak now? Fengju immediately fell to his knees in the pouring rain. The rain mixed with the blood from his previously injured knee, soaking it completely. He pleaded desperately with her. Master, your disciple was wrong. Even if Master takes another disciple, it's fine. Please let this disciple return to Xianxin Peak with you. Qingxian turned back with a cold face. There's no need to return. I'll have someone pack your things and send them to you. He hurriedly grabbed the hem of her robe, his voice pitifully weak. Is Master angry? Two streams of tears mixed with the salty rain flowed down his face. Doesn't Master want this disciple anymore? Seeing Fengju holding tightly onto Qingshuan's hand without letting go, and her not reacting, made Mo Lin a little angry. He rushed forward and forcefully pulled their hands apart. This pathetic dog Fengju actually has the face to linger here. Didn't you hear Master just tell you to leave? His eyes widened as he looked at him with amusement. You'd better disappear on your own like a piece of trash. Fengju frowned and reminded him, I'm not talking to you. Seeing his resolute attitude, Mo Lin couldn't hide his fear and subconsciously let go. Zizi leaned in and whispered disdainfully in Qingshuan's ear. Host, do you really want to accept this detestable Mo Lin as your disciple? She glared coldly at Mo Lin. Huh? A piece of trash who used despicable means, violated the rules, and injured my disciple Fengju with a poison needle like him is also worthy of being my disciple. The corner of her mouth lifted into a cunning smile that if he has already shown his fangs to Fengju and failed this time, there will surely be a next time. It's better to keep him in sight, so I can personally eliminate him at the root. Zizi shivered and stammered. So that's how it is. But Mo Lin's eyes look like he wants to eat you alive. After all, he is the lucky one of this world. Piggy was worried about the host's safety. Qingxian tilted her chin with great confidence. Don't worry. Cleaning up scum is my specialty. It fidgeted its hands in confusion again. Then what about the villain? Are you really going to leave him be? She put her hands on her hips and huffed. Who told him to dare use me as a bet? No one has ever dared to treat me like that. Serves him right. Let him suffer. It's obvious you're taking this Mo Lin in to protect the villain. Oh, host, you really say one thing and do another. Fengju tried to hold back the sobs in his throat. Master, although I didn't win the championship, second place can also make a request to their master. He clenched his fists and looked decisively at her. Right now, I want to ask you, can you refuse senior brother Mo Lin's previous request? Even if I can't be Master's disciple, I can't let this unpredictable Mo Lin stay by Master's side. Qingxian couldn't help but smile to herself. Very smart. He even knows how to use the rules. Under the pouring rain, she pulled her hand away from his wounded one. However, I've already decided to accept this boy, Mo Lin. Her sharp words were like knives stabbing straight into Fengju's heart. Sorry, I can't. As soon as she finished speaking, another bolt of lightning tore through the sky behind her with a deafening crash. Zizi suddenly cried out in alarm. Oh no, host, it seems you've gone too far this time. The villain's villainy index is about to reach its maximum. However, the bright red exclamation mark on the screen was an error caused by the lightning. Oh, it's a glitch. Fengju lowered his head slightly. Elderling, I understand your meaning. If this request is not possible, then I'll change it to another. He raised his hand to wipe the clinging water from his face. I want to become Master's attendant disciple. His words immediately caused an uproar in the crowd. An attendant disciple. The so-called attendant disciple isn't really considered a disciple. It's more about arranging and cleaning in daily life. It's similar to a servant. I can't believe he's willing to lower his status, to become a laughingstock just to stay. His aptitude was low to begin with. The status of a servant suits him. She silently stared deep into his eyes, seeing the determination within them. Qingxian felt a sense of familiarity. His eyes have suddenly changed. It seems I've seen these eyes somewhere before. She glanced down at his blood-soaked knees. An extremely uncomfortable feeling suddenly rose in her chest. What's happening? Why does my heart suddenly ache? What is this feeling, both familiar and unsettling? Seeing her begin to waver, Mo Lin hurriedly interjected, Please reconsider, Master. No, I can't let him have the chance to return to Xianxin Peak. All right, she stepped forward and kindly instructed Fengju, but my attendant disciple must also be stronger than countless others. You should still get treated first. Only then did the anxiety in his heart relax somewhat. His whole body went limp, and he immediately collapsed into her arms. A series of dazzling lightning bolts suddenly struck across the sky, forcing everyone to shield their eyes. This lightning is so blinding. Feng Zhu took this opportunity, whether intentionally or not, to lunge forward and press his lips against Qing Xuan's soft ones. She frowned and raised her hand, about to slap his shameless face. But before she could do anything, Feng Zhu's entire body collapsed. He had fainted. Zizi's face turned green as it cried out. It could be because he used up all his strength in the sword trial convention, so he fainted. Host, what do we do now? If someone saw them kiss. However, it seemed the crowd below did not witness the scene of Qing Xian being uncomfortably kissed by Feng Zhu. That lightning just now scared me to death. I thought it was a heavenly tribulation. I couldn't even open my eyes. What happened? Why is Elder Ling holding Feng Zhu? Didn't they sever their master-disciple relationship? So it was because of the lightning that no one saw. Mo Lin approached from behind, intending to grab him. Master, are you all right? Just leave junior brother Feng Zhu to me. I will definitely take good care of him. But she immediately slapped away his meddling hand. No need. Qing Xian turned and unceremoniously dragged the person in her arms away. I will personally deal with this brat. My dear host, I knew you had the villain in your heart. Feng Zhu's sharp gaze just now gave her a bad feeling. Just now, I clearly saw a trace of demonic energy on him, but disappeared very quickly. What on earth is going on? It seems I have to take him back to investigate. Seeing Qing Xian insist on taking Feng Zhu away herself, Mo Lin's eyes turned red with anger. Master, Feng Zhu is no longer your disciple. Where are you taking him? Without a word, she waved her hand and muttered seal. A halo of light immediately shot out and tightened around his throat. Master, what's happening? Why can't I speak? Qing Xian threw him an annoyed look that I don't like to be questioned. You've overstepped. From now on, Feng Zhu will be my attended disciple. Besides me, no one can bully him. From an angle no one could see, a faint smile appeared on Feng Zhu's ashen face. With that, she quickly left with the person in her arms. Mo Lin knelt on the ground, watching them go, unable to swallow his anger. Ling Qing Xian, you dare to humiliate me time and time again. Just you wait. When I succeed in stealing the master's techniques, I will definitely cripple your tendons and bones, then throw you into a dark dungeon to let you taste all the humiliation and pain. Upon returning to Xianqing Hall, Feng Zhu was immediately thrown to the ground with a thud by Qing Xian. Zizi hurriedly stood up for him. Why, dear host, be gentle, be gentle. The villain is seriously injured. He can't be tormented anymore. If you're done pretending, get up. I have something to ask you. Why did you kiss me just now? Her words quickly surprised Zizi. Faking a feint, Feng Zhu chuckled and propped himself up slowly, as expected. Master knows everything. He raised a hand to wipe the remaining water from his face. Then why didn't Master expose your disciple in front of everyone, and even bring your disciple back? Her beautiful eyebrows knitted together slightly. Are you questioning me? Gone was his earlier pitiful appearance. He now displayed an extremely nonchalant attitude. This disciple is very curious. Does Master truly not understand? Or are you pretending not to? Seeing Qing Xian start to get angry, Zizi spoke up fearfully to remind her. Host, don't fight. You'll lose favorability points if you do. Gaining favorability is just a hidden mission. If I complete the main mission first, I won't need to think about these things, right? Piggy was speechless upon hearing this. Oh no, the host has found a system loophole. She waved her hand, leaving behind a pile of medicine, then turned to leave decisively. Forget it. Why should I bicker with a brat like you? The medicine is all here. Meditate and heal yourself. Feng Zhu once again grabbed the hem of her robe. Elder Ling, this disciple is really injured. Qing Xian was a little confused. So? Didn't I already give you the medicine? His face was crestfallen, his eyes welling with tears as he whined. I can't lift my arms. I can't apply it. This move struck straight at the hearts of Zizi and Qing Xian. Oh, how tragic. The villain has 7 broken bones and wounds in many places. There's also poison from the needle spreading, and with the throw you just gave him, his injuries are even worse. Host, you should help him. Is it really that serious? She turned back and slowly observed his injury-covered body from head to toe. Qing Xian sighed helplessly and closed the distance between them. There won't be a next time. Knowing she had forgiven him, Fengju couldn't help but smile and nod yes. He obediently took off his shirt, revealing a bare body full of wounds. Qing Xian approached with medicine on her hand, her eyes fixed on his happy face. Did this kid always like to smile like this? Why has he been smiling so gently since a moment ago? He suddenly grabbed the soft hand that was treating his wound. That elder's hands are a bit cold. Fengju gently brought it to his mouth and blew on it to warm it up. Let this disciple warm them for master. Qing Xian explained calmly that I have had a cold constitution since I was young. It's nothing. For some reason, Fengju's face turned as black as the bottom of a pot. Elder, this disciple has held your hand for so long, and you haven't pushed me away. Does that mean if someone else did this to you, you wouldn't refuse either? These words were a bit unexpected for Qing Xian. Holding hands, her eyes darted around. In all these years, it seems I have only ever held one person's hand. A faint image of a sturdy back appeared. That person, I don't have much impression of him anymore. As if remembering something, he let go of her hand and fumbled in his pocket. Since Master didn't push me away, does that prove that I am also very special in your heart? Fengju placed the hairpin he had made himself from the jade pendant on her soft hair. Should I be more proactive? No sooner said than done. He carefully held the hand in front of him. Ling Qing Xian, I like you. Her eyes widened, her whole body temporarily frozen by his sudden confession. Please become my Dao companion. Ling Qing Xian looked at Zizi holding up a sign with favorability 90% and thought suspiciously, when did this guy learn to deceive people like this? The favorability isn't even full. How could he possibly like me? She pulled the hairpin from her head. Ling Qing Xian handed it to Fengju. Before she could finish her sentence, Fengju lunged forward and kissed her on the lips. Ling Qingshuan's arms were held tightly by him. She thought to herself, when did he get this strong? She angrily bit down hard on Fengju's lip. He wiped the blood from his lip, his expression gloomy. That's all right, master. You will belong to this disciple. Ling Qing Xian turned to leave first. I don't belong to anyone. Leaving Fengju with a dark face, his fists clenched, determined in his heart, Master, I've made up my mind. His eyes became sharper as Fengju thought to himself, this time, I am determined not to let go. On the other side, Ling Qing Xian and Zizi were leaving under a starry night sky with the flickering lights of fireflies. Zizi was overjoyed. Host, don't be angry. It was just a kiss. Just think of it as a mosquito bite. Ling Qing Xian touched her lips, thinking it was very soft. Ling Qing Xian quickly blushed. She couldn't help but lower her head, an internal struggle beginning in her heart. Am I angry at Fengju or angry at myself for not pushing him away immediately? This feeling of not being able to control myself is not good. Ling Qing Xian quickly became irritable. Speaking of which, it's all that Mo Lin's fault for provoking Fengju time and again. If it weren't for him, I wouldn't be so troubled right now. I can't touch this villain Fengju for the time being, so I'll start with him. Early the next morning, at Ling Qingshuan's residence, Mo Lin brought in pastries and tea. Greetings, master. Disciple Mo Lin pays his respects. I have specially prepared premium morning tea. But he was unexpectedly greeted by a table full of delicious food. At this moment, Fengju was standing by the dining table. Master has already had the breakfast I prepared. Seeing this, Mo Lin cursed under his breath. Damn it, I can't believe he beat me to it. Ling Qing Xian also looked at him with a not-so-good expression. Late for your first class? Your punishment is to run 80 laps around Xianqing Peak. You're not allowed to use spiritual power. Mo Lin was stunned upon hearing this. His face drenched in sweat. That it is this disciple's fault. It's just that this punishment seems a bit heavy. I hope Master will consider that this is my first offense and make an exception. In his heart, he thought gloomily, is this woman kidding? 80 laps, and it's around the entire Xianqing Peak. Even with an elder's strength, without using spiritual power, I'll be exhausted after running. But before he could plead any further, a steamed bun flew over and blocked Mo Lin's mouth. Ling Qing Xian said with a cold tone, I have never liked to bargain. Fengju, standing beside them, smiled and added fuel to the fire. Senior brother, aren't you going yet? Mo Lin still tried to salvage his situation. Master, Do you have some misunderstanding about me? Is it because I made a bet to duel with junior brother Feng Ju before? So you have a prejudice against me? He again sent an invisible green arrow towards Feng Ju. Junior brother Feng, it's nothing for me to be punished. But now that we are both Master's disciples, I only hope for harmony. Let's not make Master unhappy over this matter. At this time, Ling Qingxian was still resting her chin on her hand. Listening to his long-winded speech, I originally thought you would accept the outcome, but I didn't expect junior brother Feng Ju to be unwilling. If junior brother is really bothered by losing to my sword, I, your senior brother, apologize and accept the punishment. Let all past grievances end here. How about it? Feng Ju frowned unhappily. Humph, what an act. But Ling Qingxian spoke up. You really should be punished. She smiled. Then kowtow to Feng Ju 3 times now, and I will let this matter go. Hearing this, Mo Lin's face turned pale. He gritted his teeth and thought, what? Why isn't she acting according to convention? As for Feng Ju, hearing Ling Qingshuan's decision warmed his heart. She's standing up for me. Ling Qingxian asked as she impatiently tapped the table. Why aren't you saying anything? Do I need to invite you? Mo Lin scowled and cursed inwardly, damn it. Ling Qingxian suddenly flicked her finger. Mo Lin was hit in the thigh by the stone she flicked, forcing him to kneel with a thud. Ling Qingxian covered her mouth and yawned. When you apologize, remember to speak loudly. Mo Lin had no choice but to endure and kneel. Please, junior brother Feng, forgive me. Feng Ju smiled slyly. Does it hurt to kneel, senior brother? How about you rest for 15 minutes and then continue kneeling later? Seeing this, Ling Qingxian was speechless and thought, he wants him to kneel twice. Who did he learn this treacherous nature from? She cleared her throat and ordered, go run. Don't stop until you've finished 80 laps. I'm tired. I'll lecture tomorrow. Feng Ju quickly followed behind Ling Qingxian. Master, shall I go back with you? I happen to have some questions about my cultivation that I'd like to ask for your guidance on. Mo Lin turned his head to look at them, his face purple with rage, fuming inside. Damn it, just you wait. As night fell, the lights in Ling Qingshuan's room were lit. Mu Lin was panting heavily, unable to speak properly. Master, Feng Ju stood blocking his way. Master said that losing all strength in your legs after only 80 laps is a sign of an unstable foundation. You must go and carry another 100 buckets of water. Although Mu Lin was filled with anger, he had to reply fine. The next day, Mu Lin carried 2 buckets of water, wiping away sweat, completely exhausted. At this moment, Feng Ju was leisurely lying on the roof, teasing him. Master said you are very irritable today, senior brother. Copy it 100 times. Don't be angry. The mysterious heart illusory art is a small step to calm the heart and pacify the chi, a big step in cultivation. Let Master study it first. A few days later, Mu Lin was so weak that his limbs trembled. He thought resentfully, these past few days, I haven't learned anything, just doing chores. Today, I must learn her skills. At this time, Ling Qingxian was busy personally guiding Feng Ju on how to hold a sword. Stand firm. Don't move. Feng Ju was also listening intently. Master, is your disciple doing it right? Mu Lin stepped forward and cupped his hands. Master, elder Ling, please teach me as well. Hearing this, Ling Qingxian smiled and asked back, are you sure? Not long after, painful screams quickly echoed through the mountains and forests. Ling Qingshuan's face darkened, a wrought-tan whip in her hand. Why is your foundation still so weak after several days of practice? Do you take this venerable one's words for nothing? Mu Lin bowed his head, clutching his stomach. I dare not. This disciple will definitely practice diligently from now on. Finally, he left with his head bowed in a dejected manner. Feng Ju hugged Ling Qingxian from behind. Master. He leaned close to her ear and whispered, you see, he is not as smart as your disciple. Your disciple is the one most suitable for Master. Ling Qingxian mercilessly pushed Feng Ju's face away. If you have free time, go cultivate. Have you finished reading the secret manual this seat just gave you? Just then, 2 shadows suddenly appeared. They cupped their hands and reported in unison. Elder Ling, a plague has suddenly broken out at the foot of the mountain. Mortals are in peril. The sect master invites you to discuss the matter of eliminating the disaster. Ling Qingxian replied, this seat will go now. she left coldly, instructing, Fengju, you stay here and cultivate. Fengju smiled with an unreadable expression. I will listen to master. Elsewhere, Mu Lin was extremely helpless and furious. He frantically swung his sword in the air, creating powerful waves of blue energy. Fengju, as long as he is here, Elder Ling will act as if she doesn't see me. A voice suddenly spoke up, then eliminate him. Hearing this, Mu Lin turned his head. Who? The person stepped out, covered in bandages. That damned brat beat me to this state during the sword trial assembly. I must get my revenge. It was Huang Shulang, his face covered in bandages. I overheard Master and the sect master discussing that a plague has appeared at the foot of the mountain. Elder Ling must be sent down. You and I will join forces and eliminate Fengju. At this time, at Ling Qingshuan's residence, a small bird gently flew over. Ling Qingxian reached out her hand to receive it. Just then, Elder Tian suddenly burst in, shouting, Did you hear that? The sect master has ordered that an unknown plague has appeared at the foot of the mountain. He told you to listen to my command. Go down the mountain and resolve this matter. Don't think you can look down on me just because your cultivation is high. If you don't obey my orders then, be careful you don't taste suffering. Ling Qingxian coldly turned her head to look at him, telling this seat to listen to your command? You'd be better off dreaming. Elder Tian was furious. I'm so angry I could die. Sect master, look at her. At this moment, the bird, who was the sect master, spoke. If that's the case, then let Elder Ling lead the team. Elder Tian, you must assist Elder Ling well. Hearing this, Elder Tian's face turned pale, and he stammered, unable to speak. Sect master. Ling Qingxian didn't let him say more. She tucked her hair behind her ear and said arrogantly, Since the sect master has spoken, this seat can only reluctantly accept. However, I'll say this first. She pointed directly at Elder Tian's face with a threatening expression. If you bald-headed oaf, dare to cause trouble, this seat will break your legs. Elder Tian trembled, sweating profusely. I know. Ling Qingxian turned and saw Zizi. She asked what's wrong. Is something amiss? Zizi replied, The plague must be the situation where the villain falls into demonhood. Why is it happening so early? This can't be right. The next day, Ling Qingshuan's group began to set off down the mountain. Elder Tian ordered, We're not far from our destination. Rest here for now. The followers replied, Understood. They rested by the tree trunks and chatted amongst themselves. Didn't they say Elder Ling was leading the team before we left? Why has Elder Tian been giving all the orders along the way? What do you know? Originally, Elder Tian was supposed to lead, but who knew what kind of deal Elder Ling made with the sect master to have it changed to her? How disgusting to think she got her position through her body. Does that mean anyone can have her as long as their status is high enough? And they tell the outside world she's so powerful. Elder Tian is still better. Not like Elder Ling, who just keeps a long face and only knows how to walk. Hearing these words, Zizi put its hands on its hips angrily. These wicked people, how dare they speak ill of the host? Just then, water from the river was splashed onto the faces of those gossips. Fengju had used his technique to teach them a lesson. He frowned. It seems no amount of clean water can wash your stinking mouths, senior brothers. One of them couldn't hold back and wanted to rush forward. The others held him back and advised, Senior brother, don't be rash. Have you forgotten? You can't beat him now. Fengju handed a water flask to Ling Qingxian. Master, please drink some water. She praised him. Well done. Dogs that bark indiscriminately deserve to be taught a lesson. You have some my style. Being praised, Fengju was so happy he could wag his tail. It's because Master taught me well. Ling Qingxian replied, Keep it up. Zizi, watching this scene, couldn't help but sigh. Unlucky NPCs to encounter such a cruel master and disciple pair. Seeing this, the others gossiped, Look, why does Elder Ling still dote on that brat Fengju so much? Clearly, senior brother Mu Lin is the outstanding genius of our generation. I'd say senior brother Mu Lin deserves it. Who told him to betray the sect? To end up like this is his own doing. Hearing these words, Mu Lin's face darkened, and the hand holding the water flask trembled. He cursed in his heart, Damn it. Fengju, you must die. Elder Tian spoke up. Once we're done resting, we'll set off soon. We must reach the mountain villa before dark. Just then, a foot stepped forward, crunching a dry branch and making a sound. Both Ling Qingxian and Feng Zhu turned their heads in that direction. He spoke up. Who? It was a little girl, covered in grime, tears streaming down her face. Sorry, I came to pick herbs, but I accidentally got lost. Big brother, big sister, can you take me down a mountain? Feng Zhu frowned and asked, your injuries, how did you get them? The lost little girl cried as she explained, It's my father. He said if I don't come back with the herbs before dark, he'll beat me to death. In Feng Zhu's mind, a scene of the little girl's parents scolding her quickly flashed. Jinx, useless, worthless trash. Feng Zhu thought angrily, these beasts are completely unworthy of being parents. He spoke up, why is it so hard just to live? Ling Qingxian silently observed his expression. She spoke, go on. Ling Qingxian continued on her way, only instructing Feng Zhu, take this little girl down the mountain. You must catch up with the group within the time it takes for an incense stick to burn. Feng Zhu was a little moved. Thank you, master. Ling Qingxian and the others continued walking through the forest. She suddenly became alert, signaling to everyone with her hand, slowly. Everyone was quickly surrounded by a mysterious black mist, causing them to panic. Black mist, this is the black mist of the plague. What do we do? What if we get infected? Help! They began to panic and scatter. Elder Tian, Senior Brother Mulin, save us. Seeing this, Elder Tian hurriedly ran away. Stay away, don't come near me. Zizi reported, Host, this is bad. The plot has deviated from the setting. This black mist has appeared too early. We must quickly find the villain. In the original script, it was this black mist, this demonic energy, that triggered the villain's tragedy. A surge of power quickly enveloped Ling Qingxian. She used her technique to draw out a sword. You really don't let this seat have any peace of mind. Ling Qingxian sent the sword flying, its tip swiftly rushing forward. It formed a thick protective barrier around the followers. They were bewildered. This is a protective circle. Ling Qingxian instructed, the village is just ahead. This seat will go and come back. You weaklings stay inside the circle. Don't go out. The followers became angry again, their faces darkening as they pointed. Ling Qingxian, you are an elder. You must be responsible for us. You can't abandon us. If you dare to abandon us, when we return to the sect, we will definitely report to the sect master to punish you severely. Who knows if you'll even come back? At this moment, Elder Tian also spoke up. Ling Qingxian, order you not to go. Zizi's face turned pale as it urgently prompted her. Host, the demonic energy is spreading very quickly. The villain might be in danger. We have to hurry. Ling Qingxian quickly used her power to strike Elder Tian directly in the chest, causing him to spit out a mouthful of blood and pain. Ling Qingxian looked at Elder Tian lying on the ground. As long as you don't leave this circle, nothing will happen. But anyone who obstructs this seat will. She stopped mid-sentence as she suddenly realized he was dead. Ling Qingxian was a little scared dead. At this moment, Mu Lin spoke up again. Master, according to the records in the library pavilion, the black energy is murderous energy that turns into demonic energy. At the foot of the mountain, an extremely vicious demon cave was once sealed. Even with Master's profound spiritual power, it would be difficult to escape this fate. It's just a village of mortals and a single disciple who followed you. Why must Master take such a risk? It would be better to stay with us and wait for the sect master to send reinforcements. Ling Qingxian suddenly called out Mu Lin. Mu Lin replied with a hint of joy. Disciple is here. Does Master have any instructions? Ling Qingxian looked at him coldly. After this trip is over, pack your things and leave the sect. You abandoned your fellow disciples who are like your own limbs. You are completely unworthy of being this seat's disciple. Hearing her words, Mu Lin froze, his expression turning to shock and disbelief. Ling Qingxian quickly flew forward. This seat's disciple and this village, this seat will save them all. She silently calculated in her mind, if this seat's guess is not wrong, as long as I destroy the demonic energy, I can solve the plague. In short, I must find that brat and the little girl first. Ling Qingxian called out, Brat, wait for this seat. At this point, everyone started to mock him again. Did I hear that right? The genius was just expelled from the sect? TSK, 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 Senior Brother Mu Lin, it was all for nothing that you didn't hesitate to betray your master and duel with Feng Zhu to take Elder Ling as your master. Now you've been swept out the door by Elder Ling. You really reap what you sow. Senior Brother Mu Lin, she doesn't want you anymore. Why do you need to cling to her so desperately? Who knows how filthy she is? Could it be that's your taste? At this moment, Mu Lin was kneeling on the ground, covering his face with his hands. He let out a series of laughs. Mu Lin's eyes widened, and he seemed to become more vicious. It's over. If I can't have you, then I'll destroy both you and that brat. At this time, at the foot of the mountain, black energy was continuously emanating from a cave. Feng Zhu held his sword, with the lost little girl behind him. He said, I originally wanted to quickly take the little girl down the mountain, but I didn't expect to be ambushed by this demonic energy. Feng Zhu's expression became serious. This demonic energy, it deliberately forced us into this cave. He looked at the lost little girl who was frowning in discomfort and thought, the little girl can't hold on for much longer. We must get out quickly. Just then, a voice spoke. Feng Zhu, you've come. Feng Zhu immediately turned his head warily. Who is it? A dark shadow in the shape of Feng Zhu approached him from behind. It's obvious. I am you. The dark shadow embraced Feng Zhu and pulled him down into the swamp of his subconscious. I can make you strong. Feng Zhu soberly swung his sword. No need. The dark shadow quickly reformed without any damage. You see, your sword can't hurt me at all. Do you know why you don't have Ling Qingxuan's heart? The dark shadow quickly created an illusion of Ling Qingxian. She said, because you're truly too weak. Seeing this, Feng Zhu was surprised, Master. The illusion of Ling Qingxian continued. Just like Mu Lin, he has superior talent, and now he has even taken me as his master. In the future, she will belong to Mu Lin, and you'll be nothing. The illusion of Ling Qingxian held Feng Zhu's face become stronger. Only when you become stronger will she bow her head and submit to you. Feng Zhu clutched his head and screamed, Shut up. The sword fell from his hand to the ground. The illusion persuaded, Accept me. I will let you stand by her side. Feng Zhu gradually seemed to lose his soul. Master, he thought, your disciple wants to become stronger. Finally, the illusion merged with Feng Zhu. Only one thought remained in his mind. I want to protect you forever. Just then, Ling Qingxuan's arm reached out. She gently touched Feng Zhu's face, and the dark illusion gradually faded away. Ling Qingxian called to Feng Zhu, Wake up. He blushed as he looked at her. Master, why are you here? Ling Qingxian asked, Are you awake? Feng Zhu quickly nodded his head repeatedly. Ling Qingxian then let go of her hand. Feng Zhu frowned, looking displeased. But Ling Qingxian didn't see it. You did very well. She looked at the lost little girl who was being healed by her power. I've already transferred spiritual energy into the little girl's body. This child will be fine. Ling Qingxian stepped outside. Let's go. Feng Zhu suddenly hugged her tightly from behind. Master, after the plague is over, can you go with your disciple? He looked at her expression. Let's go far away from this place together. Find a place with no people and live happily ever after. Feng Zhu continued, Just the two of us. Ling Qingxian turned around. Feng Zhu, how many more times do I have to say it? She reached out and squeezed Feng Zhu's mouth shut. No. He cornered her against the cave wall. Why not? Is it because we are master and disciple? Or is it because of Mu Lin? Ling Qingxian answered calmly, Because this seat does not want to become cultivation partners with you. The dark shadow from before whispered in Feng Zhu's ear, Also, you are quite weak. This seat does not like weaklings. He began to provoke. See, I was right, wasn't I? You are too weak. The weak do not deserve to have her heart. You have a lowly background, poor talent. You can never compare to Mu Lin. She will not be with you, so stop dreaming. These words from the dark shadow began to sway Feng Zhu. He gradually sank into the mire of his subconscious and death. Feng Zhu spoke. As expected, what he said is the truth. Ling Qingxian was stunned. Feng Zhu quickly grabbed her hand. He pushed Ling Qingxian back forcefully. Master doesn't acknowledge her disciple, doesn't want to accept her disciple. Ling Qingxuan's gaze gradually changed. At this moment, Feng Zhu's eyes had a hint of red. He spoke. However, does Master think you have a choice now? Feng Zhu called out with a displeased expression, Ling Qingxian. Ling Qingxian and Zizi both turned pale. Zizi said fearfully, It's over. The villain has completely turned evil. Feng Zhu suddenly smiled. He quickly rushed forward and buried his head in Ling Qingxuan's neck. Her face flushed red. Feng Zhu, what are you trying to do? Feng Zhu said nothing and bit her shoulder instead. Ling Qingxian frowned in pain, panicking in her heart. What's happening? My entire body's spiritual power is completely unusable. She was controlled in Feng Zhu's hands. Ling Qingxian thought in panic, I actually can't break free. Feng Zhu stared at her mesmerized. You are mine. Even in death, I will not let go. Ling Qingxian was kissed by him. She struggled with difficulty. Let go of me. As Fengju kissed her, he thought to himself, I really want to do this to press all of Master in my body, all of her. Ling Qingxian tried to struggle free. If you don't let this seat go, I will strike. Fengju continued to bite her collarbone. He smiled smugly. If Master has the heart, then strike. But your disciple will absolutely not stop. Time passed. Elder Tian led the others towards the cave. The demon ceiling cave must be just ahead. The demonic energy has faded a lot. Could it be? The others were a little joyful. It must be Elder Ling's work. Let's hurry to the demon ceiling cave and lend the elder a hand. If we can assist the immortal venerable, won't a part of the credit for slaying the demon race be mine? Only Mu Lin thought viciously. The demonic energy in the demon ceiling cave is no small matter. If Fengju was also trapped inside by the demonic energy, he must have fallen to demonhood by now. I can't miss the scene of a master and disciple trying to kill each other. They quickly entered the cave. Mu Lin pointed excitedly. It's here. Ju and your brother Feng and Elder Ling, eh? He saw Fengju and Ling Qingxian inside the cave. The two of them also quickly noticed the presence of the group. Elder Tian shouted, Fengju, Ling Qingxian, how dare you, a master and disciple, engage in such incestuous debauchery in broad daylight? Fengju spoke with annoyance. You all really know how to pick a time. Did you come here to die early? Elder Tian continued to judge. Ling Qingxian, Fengju, you master and disciple are incestuous, and the disciple has fallen to demonhood, violating the way of our sect. The others also clamored, am I seeing things? Is Fengju's body now full of demonic energy? Oh heavens, to think a demon was right beside us. I said he was very suspicious. A lowly disciple being able to rise up. He must have used some evil tricks. A demon has been hiding in our sect for so long. Could it be that he wants to attack us? Or does he want to ruin our sect's reputation? Mu Lin angrily raised his sword, Dai. You all must eliminate the demon race. Yet you dare to infiltrate the sect. He launched his sword towards Fengju. Today I must eliminate this demon. A wave of power quickly cut the sword in two. Ling Qingxian stood protectively in front of Fengju. Who dares to touch this seat's disciple? Elder Tian pointed. A cultivator who falls to demonhood must be eliminated. He quickly used his power to create many different swords, ready to aim their tips at Ling Qingxian. Today you and he are entangled together, corrupting the rules of our Qinquan sect. The Qinquan sect and you, master and disciple, cannot exist under the same sky. The others also angrily raise their swords and charge forward. Cleanse the sect. Kill this adulterous pair. Fengju suddenly smiled. He snapped his fingers. Immediately, those people spewed blood and fell to the ground. This scene greatly surprised Ling Qingxian and the others. Seeing Fengju becoming crazed, everyone urged in panic, Elder Ling, kill him quickly. He's gone mad. If we let a demon like this go, he will surely slaughter all living beings in the world. At this moment, Ling Qingxian also shouted loudly, Fengju, stop. Fengju's soul trembled. He thought, what's wrong with me? This smell of blood. Did I just kill people? Fengju exclaimed in shock, Master, He clutched his head and screamed, I'm sorry. I have fallen to demonhood. Ling Qingxian hurriedly asked Zizi, Piggy, is there any way to pull him back to the righteous path? Zizi opened the system panel and replied fearfully, Host, the demonic energy has already flooded the villain's spiritual root and immortal bone. Unless. It continued, unless you use spiritual energy to convert the demonic energy in Fengju's body, replacing his entire body's spiritual power, exchanging one person for Fengju. That way, the villain's life can be saved. After hearing this, Ling Qingxian frowned as if determined to do something. At this moment, a devastated Fengju knelt down and grabbed Ling Qingxuan's hand. Master, kill me. Tears streamed down Fengju's face. Your disciple really likes Master. To be able to be your disciple, I was truly very happy. Thank you for taking me in, for treating me like family. But now, I have fallen to demonhood, and am no longer worthy of being your disciple. At this point, the dark shadow on the side rose up again. Ling Qingxian, you're very hesitant, aren't you? It brazenly appeared before her. He is the disciple you love, whom you taught with all your heart. You can't bear to do it, right? Zizi panicked. Host, the villain is about to fall to demonhood, and the mission will also fail. He's beyond saving. Let's run away quickly. But Ling Qingxian spoke up, it's all right. This seat has one more way to save you. Fengju looked at her with surprised eyes. Master, Ling Qingxian flew up, pulling red threads from within herself. Ling Qingxian used the red threads to surround Feng Ju. She commanded them, rise. Immediately, the threads enveloped Feng Ju to protect him. Seeing this, Mu Lin was surprised. She's drawing out her own spiritual energy to dispel the demonic energy in Feng Ju's body. She wants to risk her life to save Feng Ju. Feng Ju frowned. Master, stop quickly. Ling Qingxian approached Feng Ju. How can this seat's disciple fall to demonhood? Live well in this seat's place. The streams of demonic energy quickly dissipated Ling Qingxuan's soul. She sighed. It seems I won't be able to complete the mission. Tears streamed down Feng Ju's face. Ling Qingxian left her last words. I never thought this seat would have such a soft-hearted day. Ling Qingxian looked towards Feng Ju. Disciple, cultivate well. Don't embarrass me. Feng Ju shouted in panic, no? But Ling Qingxian had already begun to fade away. Feng Ju was stunned. How can this be? Master would rather sacrifice herself to let me escape from demonhood. He clutched his chest in pain and shouted, Master, how could you leave me behind? Master. The red thread on Feng Ju's hand snapped. The system displayed a notification panel, plain mission summary. Although the host successfully transformed the villain's demonic energy, she did not successfully ascend. This plain mission has failed. Another notification appeared, ding. The favorability of this plane's villain has reached 100. Congratulations to the host for completing the hidden mission. Qingxian was brought back through space by the system. She opened her eyes. Am I back? Zizi immediately appeared, tears and snot streaming down its face. Host, you have suffered. It chattered on. Luckily, we successfully changed the villain's fate. Otherwise, we would have been at a loss. At this point, Qingxian asked, didn't you say that if I couldn't complete the mission, I couldn't come back? Zizi broke into a sweat and tried to justify itself. Host, listen to my excuse. I know my explanation. Suddenly, the hairpin fell out from Qingxuan's sleeve. The two of them froze, their faces pale as they watched the hairpin fall to the ground. Qingxian recalled the image of Feng Ju holding the hairpin and saying to her, Master, please accept this jade hairpin and marry me, okay? She thought to herself, the jade hairpin Feng Ju gave me. As Qingxian reached out to pick it up, a red thread tied to her hand appeared. Qingxian spoke, wait, the red thread. Zizi exclaimed in the background. Host, it seems that half of the red thread you and Feng Ju formed as master and disciple has also crossed over with you. Tan Huin's heart pounded as she thought, we were once master and disciple. I hope that kid will cultivate well and continue to live in peace. But why does my heart ache a little? She then picked Zizi up. This red thread seems to be a threat to me. Get it off. Zizi awkwardly changed the subject. Host, you're the one who tied it. Zizi, don't have the ability to untie it. If you find an eyesore, you can just hide it. Zizi started chattering again. This plane was a complete failure. The hairpin and the red thread just happened to cross over with the host. They won't cause any impact. The urgent matter now is to quickly proceed with the mission in the next plane. Failure is extremely humiliating. Tan Huin gave a smile with unclear emotions. You're right. She rolled up her sleeves. For tens of millions of years, I have never failed. This is the stain of my life. It must be washed away. Take me to the next plane. Zizi excitedly presented a mission. It's all that brat Feng Ju's fault for ruining your innocence. Second plane, the innocent school Bell's cold president. Host, rest assured, for the next mission, Piggy will do its best to assist. We can only succeed. We cannot fail. Tan Huin snatched the mission paper. Follow me. This time, I must use my full strength. Her expression became determined. No matter what method is used, I must win. The scene changes to a school. At this moment, the bell is ringing loudly. A voice from the speaker announces, the exam begins. Candidates may start answering the questions. Lam Tan Tan struggled to open her eyes. She was startled to find herself wearing a school uniform, sitting on a school chair. Lam Tan Tan was stunned. She spoke, Piggy, what is this? Lam Tan Tan's hand holding the pen trembled slightly. Lam Tan Tan looked at the board with the words, Zhonglan University midterm exam. Normally don't study, cry a river during the exam, and ask, why am I in the examination hall? Zizi guiltily explained, reporting to the host, the background of this plane is set in a school. It's about the love story between the school belle Quang Tuet, whose family has fallen on hard times, and the hidden rich young master of the academy, Vien Viet. It struggled to get out of Lam Ton Ton's hand and continued. Therefore, appearing at school is also very normal. Lam Ton Ton had to agree. All right, whose body am I using now? Zizi began to introduce. The original owner of this body is named Lam Ton Ton. A few years after being adopted from an orphanage, her adoptive parents died in an accident. This is a 100% pure and pitiful girl. She is known in school for being a timid underachiever, even when isolated and bullied at school. The original owner still stuck to her principles, refusing to help the plane's female lead, Quang Tuet, cheat in the exam and also reported her. Unexpectedly, Quang Tuet falsely accused her back, saying the original owner was jealous of her beauty and even organized school violence to torture the original owner. Faced with the worsening bullying, the original owner was in so much pain she didn't want to live. Finally, due to mental distress, she died in a car accident on her way home. That's right. The female lead of this plane, Quang Tuet, in order to enter high society, has actually always relied on cheating to win honors. In university, she even latched onto the rich male lead, Vien Viet, and from there, reached the pinnacle of her life. Anyone who offends her will be eliminated by her in some way. The host was just a stepping stone on her life path. Because of Lam Ton Ton's malicious slander, she came into contact with the male lead even faster and also won the male lead's pity. This time, the villain is a school gang leader who loves to fight and hates studying, named Hua Hong Dong, whose family is on par with the male lead Vien Viet. Unfortunately, he was instigated by his girlfriend, committed a crime, and went to jail. The Vien family took that opportunity to overthrow the Hua family. By the time he was released from prison, his parents had passed away, leaving behind a pile of debt. He decided to seek out Vien Viet for a desperate revenge. As a result, he was once again betrayed by his girlfriend and was even shot dead on the spot by the police, a very tragic end. Zizi reminded Lam Ton Ton, "Host, there are 2 missions this time. The first is to let the original owner successfully get into graduate school. The second is to find the original owner's biological parents." Lam Ton Ton looked at the answers already written on the paper. She twirled the pen in her hand. Could this be the time the original owner discovered Quang Tuet cheating? Zizi replied, "That's right." At this moment, the proctor on the podium yawned. A crumpled piece of paper was suddenly thrown at Lam Ton Ton's feet. Tran Noyet showed a look of disgust. She whispered, "So stupid, hurry up and pass it over there." Only then did Lam Ton Ton turn her head to see Quang Tuet looking pitiful and weak, whispering to her, "Lam Ton Ton, hurry and give me the paper." Inwardly, she gritted her teeth in anger. So unlucky. To think I'd run into this useless idiot Lam Ton Ton. Why doesn't she even know how to pass a note? Useless thing. I must use this exam to get an excellent grade and enter the student council. Then I have to latch onto that rich president. Damn it, Lam Ton Ton, if you ruin my plans, I'll make your life in this school a living hell. Lam Ton Ton smiled, thinking to herself, so this is the female lead who caused the original owner's death. Her gaze made Quang Tuet shiver. She thought with apprehension, what's going on? Why did this useless girl's gaze suddenly become so sharp? I suddenly have a bad feeling. Just then, someone raised their hand. I'm reporting you. Lam Ton Ton pointed directly at Quang Tuet. Someone is cheating. The teacher heard this and slammed the table in surprise. Standing up, what did you say? Lam Ton Ton reached down to pick up the paper, I said. She opened it. Quang Tuet is cheating. This note was thrown on my spot. The whole class buzzed upon hearing this. Oh my God, is this for real? Hundreds of mouths began to gossip. The school belle caught cheating on the spot. Are you crazy? That's the goddess Quang Tuet, a famous top student. How could she cheat? That's right. Ugly Lam Ton Ton who specializes in bad deeds. She must be jealous of Quang Tuet to the point of madness, deliberately slandering the goddess. Someone else retorted, but why not say someone else? But Quang Tuet, it's really Quang Tuet's fault. Lam Ton Ton quickly stood up. She held up the paper. What's wrong? Didn't you just tell me to hurry and give you the note? Quang Tuet's face turned pale. She began to tremble and feel scared. Lam Ton Ton spoke again. I'm giving it to you now. She gave a provocative smile. Do you dare take it? Quang Tuet was so angry she gritted her teeth, her whole body trembling, unable to speak. Tran Noyet stood up and criticized Lam Ton Ton. Don't slander me. I was just doodling and accidentally dropped at your place. Quang Tuet secretly smirked, thinking happily, well done, Tran Noyet. Quang Tuet was secretly pleased. You are the cheating machine this young lady bought at a high price. Now that I'm caught, of course you have to jump out and protect me. She then pretended to be innocent. Weakly, she spoke up, classmate Lamb, you must have studied all night and were too tired so you saw it wrong. I don't even know that classmate. How could I cheat with her? The classmates immediately laughed and said, I told you it was a misunderstanding. How could the goddess Quang Tuet cheat? Please, the goddess is a top student, you know? Does she even need to cheat? Lam Ton Ton is a well-known bad student. As expected, if you're that ugly, your character can't be good either. Truly, ugly people only do ugly things. At this moment, Lam Ton Ton let out a disdainful laugh. Are you an idiot? As soon as she finished speaking, the whole class fell silent. Lam Ton Ton looked coldly at Quang Tuet. The whole school knows I'm a bad student. What all-nighter would I pull? Everyone was speechless after hearing that. Quang Tuet immediately panicked, putting on a helpless expression. Teacher, I believe this is just a misunderstanding. I just don't know why classmate Lamb is targeting me like this. She quickly put on a pitiful, weak, and innocent look, without evidence. Please don't casually slander others. Lam Ton Ton sneered. Evidence, of course there is. Both Quang Tuet and Tran Noyet's faces turned pale with shock upon hearing this. What? Lam Ton Ton gave a wicked smile. Teacher, I request to see the camera footage. She walked closer to Quang Tuet. Once is an accident and a misunderstanding. Twice. 3 times is no longer a coincidence, right? You two coordinate so well. You've probably cheated many times, haven't you? Quang Tuet was scared upon hearing this, and weakly said, no. Lam Ton Ton added, we just need to pull the camera footage from all the exams you two have taken. I believe we'll have an answer very quickly. At this moment, Tran Noyet angrily slammed the table and stood up. No. She scolded, Lam Ton Ton, are you sick? The classmates in the back immediately had a chance to gossip animatedly. Why does she need to be so agitated? Could it be that they really cheated? Oh my God, is the school bell scandal real? This is amazing. Quang Tuet trembled with anger. She bit her nails in shame. Damn it, this bitch. The proctor frowned and raised her voice. Lam Ton Ton, Tran Noyet, Quang Tuet, the 3 of you follow me to the office. The rest of you are forbidden from talking. Continue with the exam. So Lam Ton Ton walked ahead with a happy smile, while Quang Tuet and Tran Noyet followed behind in shame. ZZ frantically flattered. My host is so amazing. A series of actions that shattered Quang Tuet's goddess halo. While the classmates were chattering about what just happened, only one person sat still without any interest in the matter. Hua-Hung Duong was irritable, so noisy. The school was extremely quiet during the exam. The proctor used a mouse to find the moments of Quang Tuet and Tran Noyet's cheating one by one. The proctor said loudly, still crying? You cheated, framed classmate Lam Ton Ton. How can you still cry without shame? I am very disappointed in you. Tran Noyet cried a river thinking, it's over my image as a model student. Quang Tuet was also stunned, her heart collapsing. My image as a top student goddess is ruined. Only Lam Ton Ton stood with her arms crossed, looking at the 2 of them with a cold smile. The proctor spoke, Lam Ton Ton, although your grades are poor and you're not smart, you were able to stick to your principles and stop a classmate from doing wrong. You are very outstanding. Lam Ton smiled obediently. Teacher, rest assured from now on, whenever I see them cheat, I will report them. The proctor continued to lecture loudly. Once you've cheated the first time, it's very difficult to control yourself. She continued, Lam Ton Ton helped you stop your wrong behavior in time. You should thank her properly. Quang Tuet and Tran Noyet had no choice but to say while crying, thank you, classmate Lam Ton Ton. Quang Tuet lowered her head. She was crying from anger and thought, I've never been so humiliated. Damn it. Lam Ton Ton smiled with her eyes narrowed and replied, you're welcome. You'll have many more opportunities to thank me in the future. ZZ was speechless seeing this. Oh, this is truly killing without a knife. The proctor criticized sternly. This is the last midterm exam, including the 2 morning subjects. They will not be counted toward your grades. Considering you know you were wrong, I will not issue a written warning. The proctor said loudly, go back. Don't let there be a next time. Quang Tuet and Tran Noyet sobbed and replied, yes, teacher. The office door was closed. Quang Tuet gritted her teeth and brushed past Lam Ton Ton with an angry expression. Her eyes widened. She gritted her teeth. Lam Ton Ton, I can't believe you dare to make me lose face in front of everyone, ruining my image. I will absolutely not let you go. Zizi frowned and sneered. Is that all? This female lead is too weak. The host won too beautifully. Quang Tuet left angrily. You stupid brat. This is just the beginning. Lam Ton Ton patted Zizi's head. These bitches who specialize in using such tricks. One punch from me is enough to send 10 of them off. When she returned to the classroom, Lam Ton Ton heard Quang Tuet's sobbing voice from inside. I really didn't cheat. A classmate comforted her. Quang Tuet, don't be sad. There was no disciplinary notice, which proves you didn't cheat. She must be jealous because you are better than her in every way. This kind of person is so disgusting. Her own grades are bad, and she deliberately targets others. Let's not talk to her. You become what you surround yourself with. Lam Ton Ton pushed the door open and walked in without a word. She was immediately met with malicious, gloating gazes. Quang Tuet spoke up. Lam Ton Ton, you're finally back. Lam Ton Ton walked in silently. She looked at her desk. At this moment, on Lam Ton Ton's desk was a messy pile of shredded paper. The classmates whispered, "Serves her right." Quang Tuet thought smugly, "This is just the beginning. Lam Ton Ton, I'll let you know what it means to regret it when it's too late." Suddenly, shredded paper rained down on her head, making Quang Tuet's eyes widen in shock. Lam Ton Ton's voice rose. "You like trash so much? Then it's all for you." She showed a look of disgust. "I told you before, you'll have many more opportunities to thank me." Vu Ka Ka angrily scolded, "Ton Ton, how could you do that? Even if you're jealous of Quang Tuet, you can't dump trash on her. Apologize to Quang Tuet now." The whole class immediately buzzed with discussion.